Kicking off for Stephenville will be Ryan Harris looking for the deep kick with the win. Returning for the Eagles. DeJuan Jackson, we talked about his speed, as well as Detron Forbes. Also back there is Brandon Gradberry.
But notice who's kicking.
Ryan Harris. This one has a chance going out of the end zone, and we are away. Deep end-over-end kick that will be taken 5 yards deep, and it's fumbled and bumped out to the 5-yard line. Ball is still loose. Big pile up for it at the 9-yard line.
Stephenville.
No signal yet who has the football. A big pile at the 9. Let's wait till they unstack.
Ooh.
Crowley has come up with the football. I don't know how that happened. 3 or 4 white jerseys from Stephenville.
I thought Petronas had it, Boots.
Alonzo Floyd, another deep man, was the one that went back to try to catch it. He was 5 yards deep. It went right off his shoulder pads and bounced forward out to about the 6-yard line. Then some Eagles tried to grab it. They pushed it forward to the 9 where the big pileup ensued. But Crowley was able to pick up the football. They will start.
Well, that worked out even better than Ryan Harris kicking it deep out of the end zone.
Exactly.
By a long shot.
Bringing him up to the line, the quarterback for the Eagles. Under center is Andrew Epler, running a pitch to the near side and just stacked back by Harris at the 6-yard line. A loss of 3. Making the carry was Alonzo Floyd on the loss. The man that muffed the kick, Jeff Scott, also shooting up from his cornerback position with Harris to make the tackle. So the loss, they will actually spot it between the 6 and the 7. So a loss of 2 on the play. Second down and 12.
Great call by Coach Copeland as he had Scott blitzing over from his cornerback position, turned that play inside, tripped him up, and as you said, the loss on the play.
Epler under center, 2 backs behind him. The fullback goes in motion as they run the option to the far side. Epler will get out across the 10 to the 12, 13, 14-yard line before he's tackled. A pickup of about 6 to 7. Ryan Harris again from his offside.
And number 20.
Linebacker position makes the stop, so it's now 3rd down and 6 for the Eagles at their own 14-yard line. Just underway here in the Bank of America first quarter. Stephenville and Crowley live from Crowley tonight on KSTV. Jackets on the season, ranked 1st in the state.
In case you hadn't heard.
Thank you. 4-0 coming in. Is that right? Are we 4 or 5-0?
4.
Thank you.
5.
This is week 2 of district. Both teams coming in 1-0 in district. Epler. Play action, throwing the deep ball on the far sideline, has an open receiver, but way out in front of him. The receiver on the play was Detron Forbes. Not a good pass from Epler as he let him too much. It brings up 4th down, and Jacket defense does what it's called upon to do.
You know, Epler did lead Forbes, but that looked to me like one he could have caught, Boots. It looked like when he got to the 30-yard line, he just slowed down, and I think he could have. That was a great pass.
He did not extend. I called it not a good pass from the standpoint it was 5 yards in front of him, but you're right. He stopped on the play on the far sideline.
Well, this should be great field position for the Jackets.
As they will be forced, the Eagles, to punt from their own goal line. Punting will be Epler. He stands at his goal line away the snap, kicking into about that 20-mile-an-hour breeze. Snap back to him is a good one. Kick is away, a shank off the side of his foot, and this one may roll backwards, but a great kick. Forward, rolls out of bounds at the 37-yard line. 21 yards on the kick, and they're lucky to be that because it might be inside the 25 if the way that ball was shanked and wobbling takes a backward kick.
In fact, it landed at the 25, Boots, so that means it rolled forward, 11 yards? Yeah, 11 yards, so you're exactly right. He just hit it off the side of his foot. Might have been the fact that Big Scott Lee was coming in from his left side, and he thought, I probably need to go the other way.
Well, just like last week, the Yellow Jackets with tremendous field position to start their first drive here in the first quarter. 0-0, 10:24 to go in the Bank of America first quarter. Stephenville starts at the Crowley 36-yard line.
Here comes your 20-yard pass right here, maybe.
Briles under center, sends Hunter in motion to the 2 receiver side, 1 back. Now throwing the deep fade on the near sideline is Douglas just over his head. He could not quite separate himself from the corner, Brandon Granberry.
Not quite the touch yet that Kendal wants. He's still working on that pattern. That's one that he and TJ have been throwing to play and catch with for a number of years now here at Stephenville. And again, just need to put a little air under it, and that ball is very catchable for TJ. Big target.
TJ 6'5" out there running. Jackets will send 4 receivers to the far side in a wingback set with Mackin split far that way. Briles rolls that way in shotgun, steps up, looks to throw, still looks. He's in some trouble, and he'll be brought down as he runs out of bounds around the line of scrimmage. It'll set up now 3rd down and 10, and Briles looked a long time trying to throw the football, Johnny. Never decided about tucking it up until he completely ran out of real estate. So really Kendal wanted to throw the football.
Yeah, and that was just great coverage by the secondary of Everman. As as you said, he wanted to throw it, but he had no targets back there with Green, Granberry, and Washington doing great coverage in the secondary.
I can tell Steve Ross is your partner. Called him Everman.
I did?
Just then.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all right.
Well, it's stuck.
It's same colors.
Yeah.
Purple and black. Briles rolling to the near side in shotgun, setting up, looking to throw out in the flats. Has an open receiver caught. First down at the 22-yard line. Making the catch for Stephenville was Cody Avalos. Out of bounds at the 22 is Avalos, making the 23. It's enough for a first down, a pickup of about 13 to 14 on the play. And Briles' first hookup with a receiver, Cody tonight. Picks up 14, is that what we're calling that? 13 yards on the reception. First and 10 for Stephenville at the Crowley 23-yard line.
I'd probably look for them to just keep doing much of the same, Boots, till they get to the end zone.
Bashaw split to the far side. Briles under center, two backs behind him. Pitch to Hunter. Hunter looking to cut upside. He does. Gets forward for about 3 yards. Quickly, the linebackers caved on the play for Crowley. 66 Charlie Durham, outside strong safety, 6 foot, 180 pounds. Limits the carry to only 2 yards. Not as good as we originally thought. Second down and 8 for Stephenville at the 21-yard line of Crowley.
Good lead block that time by 32, Derek Haney. He kicked his guy out, but as you said, the linebackers covered very well for Crowley.
Second down and 8 for the
Crowley.
Jackets. Avalos, Crowley to the near
three
side.
Times you got it, all right?
Double wingback split to both sides. Play action. Briles setting up. In some trouble, but gets the pass away. Caught by O'Neal on the tight end. 10-5 touchdown. Tight end drag coming across for Toby O'Neal. Wide open. Made the catch around the 12 and strided into the end zone untouched. Stephenville scores first. 6-0 at the 9:02 point of the Bank of America first quarter. Steamel getting set for the extra point, looking back to the sideline on whether they'll run the swinging gate two-point conversion or bringing in the extra point crew. They do bring in the personnel for the extra point. Eben Nelson getting set to kick the extra point with Petronas having the hold, Doty the snap. Nelson getting set. Snap back, hold down, kick is on the way, it is up, and it is good. So with 9:02 to go in the first quarter, Stephenville 7, Crowley nothing. We're back in 1 minute. Hold that, there is a flag on the play as Eben Nelson.
Whether on or off the field, success requires focus, knowledge, and action. At Investment Centers of America, we focus on your goals, offer you our cumulative knowledge of investments, and recommended actions that fit your objectives. We enjoy being your coach, but you're the quarterback. After all, it is your money. Investment Centers of America, Town and Country Bank Building, Stephenville. Investment Centers of America. We know the territory. Deal has been building quality chainsaws since 1926. Bill's Lawnmower Shop has been providing quality power equipment service since 1966. For an experienced team that can provide excellent service and reliable chainsaws, look to Steel and Bill's Lawnmower Shop.
Honey, can you pay these bills? It won't take you very long if you use Texas Banker Online.
Sure. Girls, I'll be right back.
Texas Banker Online, a simple and secure way to bank over the internet with no service charge. Now you can pay bills quickly and conveniently from the comfort of your own home with Texas Banker Online.
That was quick.
Yeah, that Texas Banker Online is really simple. Whose turn is it anyways?
Texas Banker Online, a product from Texas Bank. Plug in now.
Welcome back to Crowley. Stephenville leading 7-0 here in the first quarter. Johnny, that scoring drive?
It was 5 plays, 36 yards, only took a minute and 22 seconds. Capped by Briles to O'Neal's 21-yard pass to the PAT was good. That scoring summary brought to you by Loopy's on the South Loop. Score now 7-0. Stephenville with 9:02 to go in the first quarter. And with that first score, a generous donation will be made to the Erath County Meals on Wheels by Scott Osmond, attorney at law.
Brent Virgin in to kick. The high end-over-end kick will be taken by Granberry at the 10. He's up to 15, 20 to the 25. Makes a move at the 30, finds a seam. 40 on the outside, makes a cut back. Almost to midfield. He is past midfield to the 45-yard line before Stephenville finally gets the tackle made. And Johnny, if you're going to bring in Brent Virgin to kick, who is more of the shorter specialty kicker, if you will, how about the pooch kick instead of kicking to these 3 deep guys?
Or how about just tackling back there where he catches it? I mean, if you're going to kick it short, you got to have some great coverage, by the way, as well. Hey, back on that touchdown pass, that tight end drag, which I love that play, and I know you do too. The thing that I noticed, and you'll notice it when you see it on film, Boots, something I've been wanting to see Kendal do all year long. It was a great pocket, and he just stood back in the pocket. There was no doubt what he was going to do. He stood and he waited for the O'Neill to clear. Great blocking, great pass.
Epler is under center at the 45-yard line of Stephenville. Inside trap play. Good running room across the 40. Down, the ball is loose. Stephenville has picked up the ball at the 32-yard line. Ball will go over to Stephenville at the 32. Great run on the play by Detron Forbes. Had picked up nice yardage. Check that. He was not. It was Alonzo Floyd. Brady Gunn in the secondary strips him of the football.
Oh, he gets it.
Brady Gunn. It was Trey Phelps that stripped him, and then Gunn got on the football. The safety combination of Stephenville strong and free, making that big play for Stephenville because 10 to 12 yards have been gained on the play by Alonzo.
Oh, and they're right back down in field position at the 32-yard line. You saw when he went through, Phelps just reached in there. There was no doubt what he was going to do. He just tried to rip that ball out, was successful, and as you said, Brady Gunn jumps right on it.
Stephenville lines up in the 5-receiver set. Briles is in shotgun. He looks to the sideline for the play. Now audibilizes at the line. Waiting in shotgun for the snap. Snap back to him. Throwing out to the flats. Has O'Neill. He's caught. He's to the line of scrimmage. He gets forward for 1 yard maybe. Jackets were not able to get and keep any blocks downfield after O'Neill made the catch, so it sets up second down, probably 9.
Crowley in a 4-man front right now. Boots is out of the game. Is Mikado, number 77. He's standing down on the sideline, in fact, with his helmet in his hand. So he is that nose tackle in that 5 defense.
And that's a big man.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's every bit of 6'4", 300 pounds. But they are now back into the 4, and we may even see him in the 3 here before the night's over.
As much as Stephenville has thrown the football to start the game. Briles is under center now. One back behind him is Hunter. Hunter will take the trap handoff up the middle, finds a good seam across the 40, up to the 44-yard line, and enough for the first down. Good block up front between Van Hatten and Collier as he found the seam on the trap. The delay handoff to Hunter nets about 11 to 12 yards. It is enough for a first.
You know, it's almost not fair for if you're a defensive player to have to tackle Zach Hunter because you're just, you know, when Keggins, Collier, Van Hatten, Doty's are coming at you, you're just like, where is he? Where is he? I know he's back there. and then he squirts by you. Then he's gone.
Wait a minute, was that him? First and 10 for the Jackets at the 42-yard line. Play action. Briles setting up. In some trouble. Makes one man miss. Will come to the sideline trying to get rid of the ball. He does downfield. Avalos is open at the 20, to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Stephenville. Great job by Kendal Briles to scramble long enough to find Avalos wide open at the 20. Stephenville extends 13-0 at the 7:29 mark after the 57-yard strike in the Bank of America first quarter.
Man, what a great look, because TJ was open, about midfield, I guess, and Kendal saw Avalos all by himself behind the defense and threw it across his body, as you notice. He's right into his left, throws with his right hand across his body, makes the great pass, and, you know, not to be critical, but that defender just quit at about the 15-yard line.
It's almost like the secondary decided that Stephenville was going to run. They came up, and that's how Avalos was so open. But you're right. Once Cody hit the 10-yard line, the defenders chasing him just stopped. Getting set for the extra point. Snap back. Hold down. Kick is on the way. It is up, and it is good. 7:29 to go in the Bank of America first quarter. Stephenville 14, Crowley nothing. We're back in 1 minute on KSTV.
Hi folks, this is Greg Bruner for Bruner Motors, and this is my dad Dwayne. Bruner Motors has been a mainstay on Stephenville South Loop for over 30 years now because of great pricing, service, and financing. At Bruner's, we carry a huge selection of Chevys, Buicks, Pontiacs, Oldsmobiles, and Cadillacs. We've got financing to fit almost any budget, and when you need servicing, our specially trained technicians can handle it.
That's Bruner Motors, a tradition on the South Loop in Stephenville since 1969.
Accidents happen, and no matter when or where they do, the world's largest claim service network gets in the case immediately. Prompt personal service is no accident. So we can get you back on the road faster than you can say,
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And welcome back to Crowley. John Hollinger, Bootselling, glad to have you along on KSTV. Stephenville leading 14-0 over Crowley. Johnny, the last scoring drive.
Well, it didn't take long. 3 plays, 69 yards, minute 12 that time. Briles to Avalos on that 57-yard pass. And Nelson's PAT good. It's 14-0. That scoring summary brought to you by Bumpers.
Virgin in to kick off again for Stephenville. Let's see if they change the approach any. High pooch kick to the far sideline will be taken much shorter at the 19-yard line up to the 25. And a much better play. It extends from 1, but not the second. Tackled at the 30. The runner on the play, Kyle Wood, was almost tackled. Escapes that up to the 30-yard line. So much better coverage on the Jacket specialty teams downfield.
Man, I tell you, they're going to have to slow this train down, they being Crowley. A minute 22 on the first scoring drive, a minute 12 on the second one, a total of only 8 plays. Stephenville's had the ball and scored 14 points.
Does this remind you at all of last week a little bit right now?
Yeah, and but here's the thing, put them away and finish it early.
Andrew Epler under center once again, 2 backs behind him. Wingback set to the near side, 1st and 10 as the fullback Evans goes in motion. Handoff on the outside is Alonzo. He finds some running room. He is run out of bounds after about a 6 to 7 yard gain. Is there a flag? No, Epler is limping on the play.
Actually, I was looking at Mercado and Harmon getting wrapped up out at the 30-yard line.
That's a lot of mankind.
I mean, they were just, it looked like they were just leg wrestling down there on the ground at the 30-yard line.
That's 580 pounds of 2 men.
Yeah. And,
one of them 6'4", the other 6'6".
12 feet of mankind.
Oh, Alonzo Floyd picks up 7 on the play. It's 2nd down and 3 for Crowley again. Once again, Evans comes in motion, running the option to the near side. Pitch out is on the ground. Floyd has to go back and get it on a knee. He hasn't gotten it yet, and finally he does at the 26-yard line, and a late flag comes down, and this may be a little bit too much on Stephenville.
I watched Harmon and Mercado again, and he just reached out and tackled Clayton, and Clayton's like kicking him, trying to get him off of him.
Let's wait and see what the late flag is. I believe this will be a dead ball penalty. It is a dead ball personal foul against Stephenville, and I'm going to say that the official's opinion is that he hit him after the play, but as long as Floyd was crawling on all fours trying to get to that football, it was almost heads up for the ball. Who could get there first?
Hey, that's a free ball. I'm with you. That's kind of a weak call right there.
Well, it will be 3rd down. It will remain since it was dead ball. Now, is that correct, since it was after the 2nd down play?
Well, it's enough for the 1st down, though.
Is it enough? We'll wait and see on the spot. And yes, you are. After they mark the ball, it would have been a loss on the play of about 10 to 12 yards.
The officials haven't moved the chains yet. He didn't notice
finally, they get over there and move the chains.
Yeah. Referee didn't notice it.
Now he does as he stops the play. But you're right, back at the 26-yard line, and they started the play on the 36. So now a 1st and 10 at the 41 compared to 3rd down and about 14 to 15 needed. Huge on the penalty against the Stephenville defense.
Yeah, that's right, Boots, and that is, I guess that's the first one for Stephenville. Is that right? Yep. First penalty
against
Stephenville for either team, and that was a big one because when you get them down like that and have them back in the hole, you want to go ahead and just finish them off, and I'd really like to see them, score another one here pretty quick.
Kendal Briles last week had a little bit of a challenge as far as his completing percentage was. Mm-hmm. This week in first 2 drives, he's 4 out of 5 for 2 touchdowns, 93 yards.
That'll work. About 400 a quarter, 500, a game.
1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 41-yard line. Epler again under center. Inside trap, handoff, escapes free, 45-50. Across the 40 of Stephenville is Granberry. Tries to make a move, and a great open field tackle is made by the corner on the far side. I believe it was Scott. Yes, Jeff Scott makes the open field touchdown-saving tackle at the 32-yard line. Brandon Granberry, not Granberry, the town, but Grandberry is the pronunciation of the last name for that tailback.
He's big. He's not as big as the town, though, that's for sure.
6 foot 170, you're right.
What about 28, I think, on that one?
Inside wingback trap came to him, and it caught Stephenville going the opposite way of the pursuit, able to get the big, quick hitter. And a little bit of confusion now.
Well, we have an official's timeout. He's going over to talk to Stephenville coaches. I think they're asking a question. No,
tell them to move back. Little warning on the sideline.
That's just what Coach Briles wanted. Now he gets a chance to.
Boy, look at him talking to the official, pointing back.
15-yard penalty, I imagine.
Because I'm sure his coaching staff is up here going, "Oh, that wasn't anything."
Well, I guarantee you, if you're going to be the head official, and you're going to go over there and tell them to back up, which, of course, is the side judge's responsibility or head linesman on that side.
You going to get an earful?
You deserve what you get by coming over there, and he got a little bit.
It's 1st and 10 for Crowley at the Stephenville 31-yard line. 6:20 to go here in the Bank of America first quarter. Stephenville 14, Crowley nothing. Epler under center for the Eagles. Two backs behind him, a split receiver. Pitch to the near side is Floyd. Floyd looking to cut up. He gets to the 30, and then Harris manhandles him at about the 28-yard line. A pickup of 2, maybe 3, setting up 2nd and 7 for Crowley.
Gordon Carroll pleading his case. He said, I think he's saying that Brandon Hairston, number 84, might have tackled him a little bit on that instead of a block. And, of course, the officials always say, okay, son, we'll watch for it next time.
One of the more unusual press boxes for a radio broadcast, we can only see clearly to the 40-yard line on one side. We have to poke all the way out to try to see what's happening where Crowley is in Stephenville's end of the field right now. Epler on a straight-ahead give to Floyd. Jukes and jives a little bit to find an open seam. Gets to the 22-yard line. It's going to be very close to the yardage needed for a first down as we get inside 5.5 minutes of the first half. Stephenville 14, Crowley nothing.
That looked like a play that was designed to go to the left side. Nothing there. Good heads-up play by the Crowley running back to cut it out right, see the hole on the right side, and get some positive yardage.
Hesitation move garners him about 6 yards on the play. It's now 3rd down and 1 for the Eagles at the Stephenville 22-yard line. Epler under center, two backs behind him, Evans and Floyd. They are split. Epler under center, long count, running the option to the near side. He'll have the first down and more. 20, 15, to the 10, and he's run out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. Nice option keep by Epler. The quarterback gets a first, and it's 1st and goal for the Eagles at the Stephenville. We'll wait and see on the spot about the 8-yard line.
Well, and the defensive line just sold out on the dive that time, Boots, and just great fake by Epler because the dive wasn't there. I mean, it would not have been there. And he goes around in and gets some positive yardage.
Well, a timeout has been taken on the field. The timeout is taken by Crowley. 4:42 to go in the first quarter. 14-0 Stephenville. We're back in 1 minute.
Tanglewood Pharmacy and Tanglewood Medical Supplies are opening their doors to dole out those great products and services that everyone has come to know. Looks like some of their most recent customers have come from surrounding areas. Could this have something to do with the Stephenville Yellow Jackets? No matter where you're from or what you're doing in Stephenville, Tanglewood Pharmacy and Tanglewood Medical Supplies will open their doors to care for you personally.
Yellow Jackets!
Are you troubled by strange noises under your car?
Do you experience feelings of dread in your drive shaft?
Have you or any of your family suspected a spook, specter, or ghost in your machine?
If the answer is yes,
then don't wait another minute. Call the professionals. We're ready to believe you. Our courteous and efficient staff will take care of you whether you need new tires,
struts,
brakes,
front end alignment,
or just a spark in your spook. Trans Texas Tire. We're ready to believe you.
Crowley has finished their timeout, has made their way out onto the field. Stephenville defense has not quite come back from the sideline. Stephenville 14, Crowley nothing. 1st and goal to go for the Eagles at the Stephenville 8-yard line. 4:42 to go in the Bank of America first quarter.
That's a long game already. 2 touchdowns, possibly 3, and we hadn't even played barely 7 minutes.
Epler brings the Eagles up to the line. Floyd and Evans behind him. Granberry is split to the near side. Epler under center, running the option, gives the ball straight ahead on the dive, and he will go forward to the 6-yard line. I think Epler wanted to take the ball back from the dive man, who was Floyd on the play, and Floyd wrapped over the ball as Scott Lee wrapped over him, and Floyd just said, nope, not giving it back to the quarterback.
I'm with you. I think he wanted to go around that far end, Boots, and try to get in the end zone. They may go back to that play.
Boy, and credit Parks that time as he nailed him at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and goal to go from the 6-yard line. Once again, Epler is under center, 2 backs behind him in the eye, and Floyd is nailed in the backfield. Coming up, Scott Lee on a crash from his defensive end position will tackle him for a loss of about 2 back to the original line at the 8-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and goal to go for the Eagles at the Stephenville 8-yard line. 3:50 and counting in the first quarter. 14-0 Stephenville.
Well, I tell you what, our engineer, Justin McClure, is here. He even found some air conditioning for us.
Oh, the vent. He opened them. Bless you for that. This is the smallest room I believe we've ever been in.
I think you're right. And that includes Austin College.
Boy, that's been a long time ago, hasn't it? Epler under center, rolling out to the far side, setting up in some trouble. Will throw this ball to Everman, and they will go incomplete.
Now, you weren't mistaking the team. You're talking about the town.
Yes, he was trying to throw the ball to Everman as he got in a little trouble and threw that one out about lane 6 of the track. So it'll be 4th down and goal to go for the Eagles, and I'm sure, well, into a 25-mile-an-hour wind, you going to kick a field goal here?
Yeah, you got to get some points.
Well, they are attempting. The kicker out for the Eagles, 45, Jarrett Warren. Epler is the holder. It will be a 25-yard attempt. Snap back, hold down, kick on the way. Plenty of boot on this one if it's straight enough. It is. Eagles have gotten on the board of Crowley, so we go to the break of this particular time. 3:18 to go in the Bank of America.
Stephenville offense player. Make an effort, we'll make the difference. Walk in. All right.
Your friends at Brooks Real Estate want to kick off a winning season by teaming up with the real estate professionals at Brooks Real Estate, the strategy that sells. Call Brooks at 965-5051.
Welcome back. Jackets getting ready to receive their first kickoff to them of this game. And, Johnny, that last scoring drive by the Eagles.
10 plays, 62 yards, took 409. Warren on that 25-yard field goal, 14-3 now Stephenville. That sports summary brought to you by River Doors.
Warren end-over-end kick will be taken on the far side. It goes to the Brady Gunn. Gunn coming to the near sideline in some trouble and is thrown down back at the 19-yard line. He elected not to give the ball to the dealer man, Felt, standing at the 20. He elected to fake it, keeping himself and run to the near sideline. Crowley's pursuit was able to run him down, and so it would be there where Stephenville begins 1st and 10 at their own 19.
Butch, do we have people in the stands listening tonight? I guess we do, don't we? Yeah.
Oh, I see a few cans across the way.
Here's a first quarter score for you from Brownwood. Brownwood, nothing. Everman, 7.
Ooh, little cans across the way.
Well, that's an interesting score, right?
All right, we'll go to Steve Briles after this play to get his opinion on the defense, what they had to say to each other after giving up the field goal.
Might be the only time we get to say that tonight, so let's do it. Should I show it to the Brownwood scouts next door?
Yeah, and let's just get an interview with him right quick, too. Briles under center, play action, rolling to the far side, in some trouble. He escapes from one man, and now he looks like he will run. No, he'll throw back across the middle. Couldn't quite make the completion. It was a pretty good throw. His attempted receiver was Bashaw. It was in heavy traffic. It falls incomplete. It brings up 2nd down and 10. And Stevie, I'll bring it to you on the sideline. What's the defense say after giving up a field goal?
Well, they're happy they didn't give up the big play, and that's the thing that Coach Mike Copeland keeps preaching to his defense. Try to keep everything inside. A little interesting with Stephenville's size up the middle, that Everman, with their speed, would try to pound Stephenville and power it right up the middle on 1st and goal from the 7 rather than try and string it outside with their speed. Main thing is to wrap up, keep containment, and keep everything inside and avoid the big play.
Thank you, Stevie. Briles under center, play action, rolling again to the far sideline, setting up now, throwing out in the flats, over the head of Bashaw, incomplete. It'll set up 2nd and 10, but a flag comes down, and Bashaw may have been held when he was coming out of his cut.
Kind of looked like his shoulder got jerked back a little bit. Let's see if that's what the call is. I was going to mention that just as you said it.
7-0 Everman. Now, you know, Art Briles told me this morning, he said...
Legal man downfield.
Well, so it's not as good as I thought.
Probably won't take that penalty.
7-0 early in Everman, and Art Briles mentioned that this morning. He said, I think for a quarter and a half, because of how good the athletes are at Everman, and they're getting to play at home, that this game will be tight with Brownwood for a quarter and a half.
Well, a good chance that Everman took the opening kickoff and went down the field. You know, I mean, as far as time-wise, you know, they only started at 7:30. We're close to 8 o'clock right now. You'd think they probably got the opening kick and just marched down the field and scored, which is exactly what Everman always hopes to do.
Crowley declines the penalty, so it'll set up 3rd down and 10 for the Jackets. Now, this is something Stephenville has been a little guilty of in the opening weeks of the season, scoring early, often, and quickly, and easily in the first 2 to 3 drives, but then starting to stall and let up. We'll see if it happens here. Briles rolling to the far side in shotgun, in some trouble, steps up, finds a seam, 25, great move out to the 30, 1st down, Kendal Briles. A great move at about the 28-yard line as he juked on the play. One of the downfield linebackers for Crowley, that was Jared White. He made the move on him at the 28, escaped forward with the dive to get enough yardage for the 1st down, out to about the 32-yard line. So you see the availability of Kendal Briles when he's in trouble to make something happen.
Boy, you're right. You called the juke there on White, and that's what got him the first down. Just a great play by the junior quarterback, Kendal Briles.
Trips to the far side, one to the near side, one wing back on the right side. Briles throwing out in the flats, has Avalos. The ball goes through his hands. Briles throws those balls on the quick hits to his flankers with so much steam. If you're not ready, it's going through your hands like it did Avalos there.
Yeah, and Avalos is also looking out of the corner of his eye. He's about to get smacked by that safety coming up, and well, that's a tough play right there.
2:12 to go here in the Bank of America first quarter. Stephenville 14, Crowley 3.
Sure would like to see him score on this drive and get up basically 3 touchdowns and then just ride comfortably from there.
Twins to the far side as they send Mackins in motion to that far side. Briles is under center. One back behind him is Hunter. Hunter will take the handoff, finds a little bit of a seam, escapes from one man but not the second, gets out to about the 36-yard line. Pickup of about 4 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Crowley had switched back to a 5-man front that time, which is a pretty good defensive scheme for him in that situation. Hunter really getting some good yardage again. That right side of that offensive line with Collier and Keggins blowing open a pretty good hole.
So the Jackets will have a tight split. So now they send everyone out. Trips to the far side, one to the near side. Again, a wingback on the right side as Briles throws the quick hitter to Bashaw way over his head. And Bashaw looking back at Briles, and that was just a scenario where the two of them were not on the same page as how that pass reception was supposed to take place.
It looked to me like Kendal had to get it up a little bit as 84 Hairston, that 6'4 guy, was coming in. He had his hands up. I think Kendal had to throw it a little higher than he wanted to, and then, of course, as you say, incomplete.
Bashaw on the play didn't have any cornerback on him. Had a chance if they make the connection to get the first down, as it was the down the line of scrimmage pass. But the Jackets are forced to punt. Snap back to O'Neal. O'Neal kicks with the wind, a high spiraling kick that will come down at the 26-yard line, and unlucky for Stephenville, it just digs in when it bites. 36 yards on the punt, and if he had gotten any roll, he's around 45 as that ball just hit and dug in at the 36, 37-yard line, and that's where Crowley will begin. 1st and 10, their own 37.
Well, that's a good defensive series there for Crowley. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Go down, score, and then basically hold you 3 and out. Obviously, Kendal did make 1 first down that time.
As the offense is on the sideline talking a little bit, we'll allow Steve Ross to get an earful of what's going on over there. We'll come to him in a couple plays. 1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 37, as we say. 1:27 to go in the Bank of America first quarter. Stephenville 14, Crowley 3. Inside handoff to Floyd. Floyd in all kinds of trouble. Jukes and jives a little bit, maybe makes a little bit of yardage, 1, maybe 2. What makes Floyd so dangerous, I think, is his hesitation move. He comes to the line and just freezes and allows everybody to run past him, and then he's able to accelerate again.
Another thing that makes him dangerous after he hesitates, that explosion of speed that he has. Hey, great penetration that time by Gordon Carroll. He's the one that messed that play up. They wanted to come around the right side, or the offensive right side, left side of the defense. Gordon Carroll's right there with penetration against the title.
2nd and 8 for the Eagles. Epler under center, looking to throw. Throwing the deep fade pattern, has a receiver there, but he doesn't look up. The receiver on the play, Buddy Campbell. If Campbell decides to look back at his quarterback within 15 yards downfield, he probably has a first down. The ball lands right in front of him, and he never looked back.
Yeah, now he's got his helmet off on the sideline. He's kind of upset with himself, and he don't want anybody talking to him. They're patting him on the back. He goes, "Don't pat me on the back. I messed that deal up."
Getting a little conversation from the coaching staff right now, something about, when you're about 5 to 7 off the line of scrimmage, why don't you look back at your quarterback?
Especially when we're throwing that fade route.
3rd and 8 for the Eagles. Epler again under center. 2 backs behind him, Evans and Floyd. Straight drop for Epler, thrown across the middle. The ball is up, and this will probably be interference, and here come the flags.
That's a good call.
We had a pretty good angle on it, and definitely the receiver on the play, Detron Forbes, was hit in midair before the ball got there,
and that's where the penalty really works, because he probably gets to that ball if it's not for the penalty. I don't know if he catches it, but at least he gets there.
A situation where you might want to see the defender who made the play for Stephenville, instead of going after the defender, if you're there that early, maybe put a hand up and knock the ball away.
Yeah, maybe try to cut in front and knock the ball down, or even pick it off. You're exactly right.
It was still pretty close, but I think from our angle, we definitely saw the Jacket defensive back got there before the Crowley receiver running into him. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles. They'll spot it at the 39-yard line of Crowley. 38 seconds and counting. has a chance of being the last play of the first quarter. Epler under center. One back behind him, split receivers and a tight end look as well. Wing back on the far side. Long count, setting up, looking to throw, pump fake, now throwing the long one, having to throw deep. This one's up for grabs and going up to get it. The Crowley receiver comes up with the football at the 33-yard line. Brady Gunn made a break for the ball, but mistimed his break. Ball went past him, and the Crowley receiver, who was turned around and was completely out of position, just said, hey, look, the ball landed right in his lap. He gets the first down at the 32-yard line of Stephenville.
Well, and he and Fanning just kind of ran into each other.
Fanning was the cornerback on the near side that was running stride for stride with the receiver. Receiver on the play. Was that Evans downfield, or who made the catch?
Green.
Green making the catch. Mike Green? 88 on the near side. So it is 16 seconds remaining in the quarter. First down for Crowley at the Stephenville 30, we'll call it the 33-yard line. And the coaching staff is talking to the referee is talking to the Crowley coaching staff to try to get more time put up on the clock. So we'll wait and see how much time they do put up. Justin, you want to run down there and help them with that?
Oh, my gosh.
How much time are they going to put up there?
I don't know.
Well, I'm sure that's all Crowley wants after a big emotional play like that, to get some good yardage. Then you put a real lull into the game as they try to fix the clock. 22 seconds. Is that what they're going to go with? 22 seconds will be the count. What's left in the first quarter? Stephenville 14, Crowley 3.
I'm not completely sure they're satisfied with 22.
Still looking up at the clock.
Now the official's talking to Cal Gilson to explain something to him.
I don't know if this makes a lot of...
I don't know, but this guy, the referee seems to think he's the show tonight.
Well, he's wearing the white cap.
Well, I guess he's in charge.
First and 10 for the Eagles. What does it matter anyway, because they're going to start the clock. We're now at 14 seconds and counting. Epler under center, two backs behind him. Split receivers give the second back through. It's Floyd. Floyd will be smothered under at the 29-yard line. Making the tackle was Cal Gilson. And that will do it for the end of the first quarter. Stephenville 14, Crowley 3. First quarter brought to us today by Bank of America. We're back in 1 minute on...
Nip in the air, changing leaves could only mean one thing.
It's football season!
I'm Roger Easter, your local Lennox dealer, and it's also home heating season.
I have the dish, the big screen, the recliner.
He also has a reliable high-fish seat Lennox heat pump.
Yep, this season this is the best seat in the house, baby.
Thanks to Easter Air, it's also the warmest.
Lennox, one less thing to worry about.
Offering Stephenville's largest selection of colors and styles, Danny's House of Carpet covers all of your flooring needs. Besides our wide selection, our friendly, knowledgeable staff can help you with anything from carpet and ceramic tile flooring to custom drapes, bedspreads, and professional installation. Serving the Stephenville area for 26 years and counting, come by Danny's House of Carpets at 1670 South Loop for all of your decorating needs.
Welcome back. We start the second quarter. Second quarter brought to us by Cook Lumber in Stephenville on the South Loop. And Cook Lumber, famous for having a lot of Stephenville exits working for them.
Yeah, no kid. Hey, these numbers in the first quarter, pretty interesting. Awfully close. We might want to go to Ross after this play, and then we'll look at those numbers. I'm sure he's got some.
And I think Coach Gumlin would not be happy when he sees the numbers for the first quarter for Crowley. Second down and 7 for the Eagles at the Stephenville 29-yard line. Epler under center, one back behind him trying to set up the deep fade on the near sideline. It's up for grabs. It's caught. Touchdown. Getting back deep was Detron Forbes on the play. He just got behind the Stephenville defensive backs. Gunn and Scott on that side. He got behind on the near pylon for the connection, and with that touchdown, 14-9 our score. The Eagles draw within 5 with the PAT upcoming. This is exactly what you did not want to see as a Stephenville fan.
Now, in case you're wondering, there is a week 4 on your schedule. A week 5. It didn't jump from 4 to 6.
Right, you have to play this game. Jared Warren getting set for the extra point. Snap back, pull down, kick on the way. It is up, and it is good. 11:55 to go in the Cook Lumber second quarter. Stephenville 14, Crowley 10. We're back in 1 minute on KSTV.
Hi folks, this is Greg Bruner for Bruner Motors, and we're gearing up for another year of Stephenville sports. There's no better way to get to this year's games than in a new car or truck from Bruner Motors. Now's a good time to check out our prices on new Chevy half-ton pickups or Pontiac Sunfires, and we've got financing to fit almost any budget. So drop by this week at Bruner's on the South Loop. And don't forget to support the Stephenville Yellow Jackets as they go for their 4th state championship.
At Jake and Dorothy's Cafe, we're serving our 3rd generation. The year was 1948. The same year LP records were introduced. Harry S. Truman was elected president, and Humphrey Bogart was packing them in with Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Jake and Dorothy Roach began offering high-quality food, prompt-friendly service, and fair prices. This almost overnight success continues today under the direction of their daughter, Carrie Roach, who's proud to continue Jake and Dorothy's commitment to providing the best food, service, and price in the area. At Jake and Dorothy's, a little bit of history comes with every meal.
Walmart Vision Center. Stephenville on top, 14-10 as they get the ball here.
Warren's kickoff goes deep. It will be taken by Gunn. No, to go over Gunn's head and go out of the back of the end zone. Stephenville, 14 quick points, but Crowley has come back with 10 of their own, and we've seen this in the last few weeks from Stephenville, jumping out early and then a little lull. We'll hope that does not happen again tonight. We'll go across the way to Steve Ross, and Stevie, what do you got for us?
Said anytime his defense gives up points, he's just telling them that they're going to have to make plays. And if you'll notice that time on that completion, Crowley had plenty of time to throw the football. The defensive backfield got a little bit crossed up. He talked to his defensive backs individually, but also really imploring his defense not to stand around and talk trash, but to make plays.
All right, has anything been said on the sideline of the offense about overcoming a lull that may have happened in this game?
Nope, they're just going to have to go out and execute as well, Boots.
All righty, Stevie. Well, there was a penalty on the kickoff, offsides against Crowley when they kicked, and so Crowley will be forced to kick again back at the 35-yard line, so 5 yards farther back. Return team scoots up just a skosh, and we'll see if that's enough to allow them to run the starburst.
Well, let's see how different that makes we would have got the ball at the 20-yard line on the touchback. Let's see now if there's any difference here after the 5-yard penalty.
Gunn, Hunter, and Matkins back at the goal line with the dealer. That is Feltz. He stands at the 10-yard line. Warren approaches. His kick is away. End-over-end kick will be taken by Gunn. He hands the ball to Feltz. Feltz then gives the ball to Hunter on the near sideline. Lots of running room. 35, 40, 45, 50. 2 men to beat. He will beat them. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. 90-yard kickoff return for Zach Hunter with the hand coming from Feltz at the 10. Stephenville quickly strikes back, 20-10 with the extra point upcoming.
Well, I think the penalty made a little difference.
Do you think? It was taken cleanly by Gunn around the goal line. He came up to the 10, handed the ball to Feltz. Feltz, who then gave the ball over to Hunter, and you could tell how Crowley had all sucked to the middle, expecting Gunn to still be running up the middle with the ball. Did not see him hand the ball to Feltz, who then gave the ball to Hunter, and there was a big wall for him on the near sideline, and he outran all of Crowley to the pay dirt. Getting set for the extra point is Eben Nelson. Remember, he was hurt on his last extra point. He is back in the game. The left footer gets set as Petronis has the hold. Snap back, hold down, kick is on the way. It is up, and it is good. 11:35 to go in the Cook Lumber second quarter. Stephenville 21, Crowley 10.
Stephenville offense, you make an effort, we'll make the difference. Walk in, right.
I can't believe you tore a stunt like that. What were you thinking? You weren't thinking, were you? I don't think so. You think you're different? You think you're special? No, I don't. Get that camera out of here. Did we go over this? We did. You want to coach this team? I didn't know it was the last one. He's so sensitive. These are mine too.
Supporting the Jackets for over 30 years. Bill Tomlinson, class of 67. David Tomlinson, class of 71. The Stephenville Funeral Home, your family's friend in time of need in Stephenville.
Welcome back, Stephen. Getting set to kick off here early in the second quarter, leading 21-10. Johnny, that last one-play scoring drive?
Well, it took us 15 seconds because there was a dealer involved in the deal, but 90 yards, Zach Hunter, touchdown. PAT, good again, 3 for 3, 21-10.
Oh, you didn't just jinx us with that. Virgin with the kick to the near sideline will be taken by Granberry. He fumbles it momentarily, can't get it. Finally does at the 20, makes one man miss, going to the far sideline. Looking to have a seam, he gets to the 30, and then he is spun down at the 31-yard line. Helicopter move for him.
Thrown his up into the
So it's 1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 30-yard line.
By the way, that last scoring summary brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance.
11:23 to go here in the Cook Lumber.
Well, they're having a little
21-10, Steve.
A little trouble picking up those kickoffs tonight, aren't they?
Well, and it's not very difficult kicks. They're not like wobbling or knuckling. They're true end over end. So 1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 30-yard line. Crowley trailing Steeple 21-10 here early in the second quarter. Eppler running the option near side, cuts up, and then he's run over by Jilson. Oh, that's got to hurt.
Well, and also Clayton Harmon was double teamed by a couple of pretty big guys, Mercado being one of them, and he fought them off and came in there and helped Jilson. You're right, his head just popped backwards when Jilson hit him. And then Harmon and Parks came in and finished him up.
Also Harris at the bottom of that pile. 2nd down and 8 as they'll. What a nice spot.
First quarter score for you, Boots. Granbury, Cleburne. It's Cleburne 7, Granbury 6.
Important game as far as the big school division is concerned coming out of this district.
Go Pirates.
Under center again is Eppler. One back behind him, Alonzo Floyd. Straight drop for Eppler. He'll be hammered and sacked by Harris. Back at the 25-yard line. One pump fake too many for Eppler as he pump faked, and that gave Harris enough time to close on the sack. What another great spot.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, was it?
He was tackled at the 25. They're going to give him forward progress at the 28.
Actually, it's not forward progress. That's just where his backward progress began. It started. Hey, well, you knew this was going to happen. Second quarter score now from Brownwood. Brownwood 14, Everman 14.
Ooh, how about that? As the Can fans rattle and roll. 3rd down and 12 for the Eagles. Straight drop now, a draw play to Floyd, and he's run over by his quarterback, Eckler, and he's thrown for a loss by Big Scott Lee. Back at the 18-yard line, they'll spot him at the 20, and that's a drive that went backward.
By the way, that's a game that's just down the road tonight. That Brownwood Everman.
Well, should we send Steve Ross? Will our wireless mic work that far?
I wouldn't be surprised. That's a pretty good piece of machinery. Man, that's an interesting score.
What an assignment. If we'd known it was going to be that close, we should have sent somebody over there. All right. One of you Can fans, if this one gets away, you want to take your cell phone over to Everman and make scorecards for us? Timeout on the field, 9:24 to go in the Cook Lumber second quarter.
Years before America's electric cooperatives forged the nationwide alliance, Touchstone Energy, neighbors built their own electric utility to power lives and communities. Now Touchstone Energy cooperatives serve millions of homes and businesses. Customers large and small get state-of-the-art technology and affordable service. From the one-room schoolhouse to the communities and businesses of tomorrow, trust Touchstone Energy, the power of human connections. Brought to you by your local Touchstone Energy partner.
Whether on or off the field, success requires focus, knowledge, and action. At Investment Centers of America, we focus on your goals, offer you our cumulative knowledge of investments and recommended actions that fit your objectives. We enjoy being your coach, but you're the quarterback. After all, it is your money. Investment Centers of America, Town and Country Bank Building, Stephenville. Investment Centers of America. We know the territory.
Tanglewood Pharmacy and Tanglewood Medical Supplies are opening their doors to dole out those great products and services that everyone has come to know. Looks like some of their most recent customers have come from surrounding areas. Could this have something to do with the Stephenville Yellow Jackets? No matter where you're from or what you're doing in Stephenville, Tanglewood Pharmacy and Tanglewood Medical Supplies will open their doors to care for you personally.
And this year, JC Eagle Jared Skaggs.
If you're running all day long, coffee's always free. Router 76.
Getting set to punt. Back deep, or should say Epler. Epler gets a good spiraling, booming kick. It will be fair caught by Phelps back at the 37-yard line. 44 yards and no return on the kick from Epler. And Stephenville will start first and 10 right there at the 37, leading 21-10, 9:16 to go in the Cook Lumber second quarter. 14-14 from Everman and Brownwood. I know that when Coach Briles made that comment, some of our crew said, no way. Are you surprised a little bit?
I am. Of course, they are playing at home, and that makes a difference. And I think both of these teams, Stephenville, Brownwood, obviously looking past their opponents to next week. And I think most of them might be guilty of that.
Trips to the near side. One receiver far side. A wingback on the near side is Hunter. Briles under center. Throwing out in the flats has Bashaw across the 40, across the 44-yard line is where his feet are knocked out from under him. A solid 7-yard gain on the pickup from Briles to Bashaw.
Boy, nice block by Jay Doty over there. That's in this offense, if you're going to play offensive lineman, you can't be big and fat. Let's just call it what it is.
You have to run.
You've got to be able to run and get out there to make those blocks on those flanker screens. And boy, hats off to this offensive line. It's long tradition of great fast linemen at Stephenville.
Briles under center sends Hunter in motion to the near side. Haney, the one back, now throws it out to Hunter. Hunter tries to make one man miss. He does, but does not make the second man miss. No matter, however, as it's enough for the first down. Out to the 49-yard line, a pickup of about 5 to 6. Stephenville first and 10 at the Crowley, at their own 49-yard line.
At the beginning of the year, that was one thing that Coach Briles told us to look for with the offense. They were going to try to get Zach out there in the flats like that, one-on-one, 3, 4, maybe 5 times a game. And so far, they've been successful doing that this year. And that's the reason, because he's so quick and can get you some quick yards. Even if he doesn't break it, he's going to get that 5 or 6 needed yards.
Kendal Briles, with 8.5 to go in the second quarter, has just busted the 100-yard mark in passing. Hunter goes in motion to the far side, looking to throw the deep bomb on the far sideline. Douglas is up there. He goes up for the catch, makes it, and escapes. 30, 25, 20, stretching 15 to the 10-yard line before the big lanky receiver is pulled down. And Stephenville will have first and 10 just outside the 10 on the hookup from Briles to Douglas that will go about 40 yards.
36 to be exact.
Not bad for a guess.
23 yards, Boots, after the catch. That's what's important with big TJ and all the rest of these receivers. You got to get yards after you catch the football. Is 23 good enough for you?
Thank you.
Not bad.
Actually spotted going out of bounds at the 15, so not quite to the 10. Briles is under center, first and 10 at the Crowley 15. Play action, rolling to the near side, throwing out to Matkins at the 15. Makes a juke move to the 10, almost to the 9-yard line. We'll wait on the spot, and boy, he got hit hard.
Was that Keggins that kept flying over the pile? I think it was.
Ooh, that's a big pile to fly over.
Boy, if you're Matkins, you're going, look out, big 62, don't land on me.
Gain of 5 on the play. It'll be second down and 5. Yeah, if you see him coming at you, doesn't matter if you're a teammate or not. If he's in midair, you better get out of the way.
You know what that looked like? When you were a kid and you used to go to the city pool, there was always one kid that always wanted to
belly flop,
cannonball, make splash. That was a belly flop for you right there.
I bet Keggins could knock some water out of a pool. What do you think if he wanted to? Second down and 5. That's a big man for Stephenville. Douglas late getting into the game. He splits as a flanker on the right side. Now Mackin goes in motion to that same side, and flags come down. This may have been too much time, and it's unfortunate for the players here as that is delay of game. There is no 25-second clock on Crowley's high school stadium.
Well, and they just had to wait too long because they didn't have the right personnel out there. And that 3 or 4 or 5 seconds obviously cost them.
So it'll be second down and 10 for the Jackets, back to the original spot on the previous play.
Let's see, they've got to get to the 5, is that right?
Yeah, just inside the 5, but you're right, it's not near the 4. Trips to the far side, twins to the near side. It is the 5 receiver set for Stephenville as Briles is in shotgun. He looks to the sideline as the play is signaled in, and now Briles audibilizes at the line. 6:42 to go as Briles gets up under center now. Straight drop, throwing out in the flats. Has Douglas, gets down to the 9-yard line. He picks up the amount of yardage that was lost with the penalty. So it'll be third down and 5 for Stephenville. It's spotted at the 10. They need to get just inside the 5.
Boy, those good, sharp, short passes like that when you're going into the wind. So so needed, and this offense just gives you so many opportunities as a quarterback to make plays like that. The wind, really never does bother you when you're going into it the way this offense is set up.
Officials will say that Douglas stepped out at the 11, so a 4-yard pickup. Pitch to the far side is Gunn. Gunn tries to cut up inside. He gets to about the 6-yard line, maybe. Oh, it's probably more closer to the 7 as he took the pitch on the far side. It's going to set up 4th down and a solid 2.5 yards. Decision time for Stephenville as the ball is spotted just outside the 7-yard line of Crowley. 5:45 and counting in the Cook Lumber second quarter. Stephenville 21, Crowley 10. Now a timeout will be taken, and I think this one is by Crowley. We'll wait and see. No, Stephenville does take the timeout to talk about it. 5:40 to go in the second quarter, back in 1 minute.
At Jake and Dorothy's Cafe, we're serving our 3rd generation. The year was 1948. The same year LP records were introduced. Harry S. Truman was elected president, and Humphrey Bogart was packing them in with Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Jake and Dorothy Roach began offering high-quality food, prompt friendly service, and fair prices. This almost overnight success continues today under the direction of their daughter, Carrie Roach, who's proud to continue Jake and Dorothy's commitment to providing the best food, service, and price in the area. At Jake and Dorothy's, a little bit of history comes with every meal.
Chihuahua's on West Washington is the best-kept secret in town. The chicken taco salad is a crispy jumbo tortilla filled to the brim with grilled chicken, fresh lettuce, tomatoes, cheese, sour cream, and guacamole. Or try the chicken nachos, cubes of golden grilled chicken topped with Monterey and cheddar cheese and guacamole and sour cream. The double meat double cheeseburger is killer. Complete a meal with cheese fries or the colossal onion rings. And remember, half-price drinks are served from 2 to 5 with our great shaved ice. Chihuahua's real food, real fresh, real good.
Deal has been building quality chainsaws since 1926. Bill's Lawnmower Shop has been providing quality power equipment service since 1966. For an experienced team that can provide excellent service and reliable chainsaws, look to Steele and Bill's Lawnmower Shop.
Stephenville, 4th down and goal. They will go for it. Handoff over the first side. No Briles on a keeper trying to get to the corner. He gets the first down and gets to about the 2-yard line. A keeper for Briles. He faked the dive and went around the left corner. Gets the first down for Stephenville, and Stephenville will have 1st and goal to go from just inside the 5-yard line.
I couldn't see from my angle where I was, but maybe Steve Ross can. Who was that got that block on the corner there, Steve? That was a great block to get Kendal around the corner.
John, that was safety. Starting strong safety Trey Phelps that came up, made a great block to really seal that. Looked like Kendal might get in on that play.
So you see Stephenville offensive people getting the defensive people getting some offensive time tonight. Briles under center, hammer time set behind him. And to the second man through. He's very close to the goal line. Still no signal yet. Waiting till they unpile. Is it a touchdown? No signal still. If it is not, it's just going to be barely outside the goal line. It will be 2nd down and goal to go. And boy, it's tough because I couldn't even tell who had the football.
I know. It's hammer time. It looks like Derek Haney.
Haney is in there as well as Monk and Walker are the 3 backs.
You know, Coach Briles made mention this morning in the coffee with Coach last week's touchdown with Derek, his first one. Look for him maybe to get another chance.
Briles is under 2nd and goal, giving to Walker across the goal line, touchdown. 4:53 to go in the Cook Lumber second quarter. Stephenville extends now 27-10, the extra point upcoming.
Yeah, what do I know? Obviously nothing.
He got the chance on the first try.
Boy, that kickoff return, what a backbreaker is. You're in the ball game. You know, it's 14-10. Here you come.
All that emotion.
Yep. And then boom, kickoff return. You get the ball right back. Score again, and
no more Mo.
Yeah.
So Stephenville getting set for the extra point. They run the swinging gate off the field. Now the extra point personnel back in. Petronas with the hold, waiting the snap from Doty. Eben Nelson getting set for the kick. Snap back, hold down, kick is on the way, it is up, and it is good. 4:53 to go in the Cook Lumber second quarter. Stephenville 28, Crowley 10. We're back in 1 minute.
I had to replace my old air conditioner. I wanted one to save me money.
So he called me, Roger Easter of Easter Air, your local Linux dealer.
He recommended an air conditioner that would save me 20%. Do I hear 30 now, 40 now, 50 now, 60% going once, twice to the Linux dealer who recommended high efficiency system that would save me money.
Yep, save up to 60% or my name isn't Roger Easter.
You sure are a man of few words.
Just trying to be efficient.
clinics. One less thing to worry about.
Supporting the Jackets for over 30 years. Bill Tomlinson, class of 67. David Tomlinson, class of 71. The Stephenville Funeral Home, your family's friend in time of need in Stephenville.
Welcome back. About 5 minutes remaining in the second half over in Everman. Johnny, the score?
Everman 20, Brownwood 14 with about 5 minutes to go in the first half.
Did you hear that? Everman 20, Brownwood 14. 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, excuse me.
That last scoring drive, 9 plays, 43 yards, took 424 Walker on that 1 yard run. That scoring drive brought to you by Lupes on the South Loop.
Our score here, Stephenville 28, Crowley 10, about 4:50 to go here in the second quarter. Virgin's high end-over-end pooch kick will be taken at the 25-yard line up to the 30 is Granberry across the 40, and he's tackled before he can get to the 40, actually at the 39-yard line, making the stop for Stephenville, Scott Lee.
Man, I thought that ball was going to squirt loose. He kind of had it away from his body.
Momentarily bobbled it again, but that time he was able to keep it in front of him. He was able to control it cleanly from that point on. Crowley starts 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line.
It's a pretty important drive right here for Crowley Boots. They've got to try to take that momentum away from them.
1st and 10 for the Eagles, as we said, outside the 39-yard line. What was that cheer for?
Justin just went down and gave that score to the PA guy. That's great.
Epler is under center, one back behind him, Floyd, 2 receivers to the far side, 28-10 Stephenville. Epler in trouble as he is hammered when he gets the ball loose. It is thrown for a completion, but not much, about 2 yards for Mike Green, who was in there quickly on top of Epler.
Late flag, go along with one at the line of scrimmage. They're probably going to say Harmon was offside. I wouldn't be surprised.
Boy, he is so fast
but he
across.
jumped so fast. Let's just see if that's what the call is.
Epler was about to throw, and all you could see was this big white bear claw grabbing him behind the shoulder pads from out of nowhere.
Wearing a 66 on his back.
So we'll wait for the officials to talk about this.
And then a late flag, it's either going to be a clip down there or a personal foul out of bounds hit.
2 penalties, probably both coming against Stephenville. Let's wait and see.
Ross is right down there. He probably had a better look at it than
Rossi,
anybody.
you got any idea on this one?
Going to be against Stephenville. If I'm any reader of body language.
And you probably are.
Are you a reader of body language? It is offsides against Stephenville. And then a face mask against Stephenville. It is the 5-yard variety. It was not a dead ball, so you get one or the other.
Yeah. I'm not surprised that they said Harmon was offsides, but he was just so quick off the ball. I'm sure the guy that threw it was the guy way over here on the far side away from Clayton. And I really think he missed that. I'd like to see that on film.
Hey, Stevie, I wanted to ask you a little bit different feeling on the sideline from when it was 14-10 to now 28-10?
Well, I think there's a little more confidence that, now that they're up by 18 points. But the thing the coaching staff was upset about that time, and John, you pointed it out, that was not necessarily the officials' call who made that one. And that upset, I think, the coaching staff for Stephenville more than the call.
It is 1st and 3 yards because of the penalty for the Eagles out to the 43-yard line. Straight drop for Epler. Now he's in trouble, and he'll be sacked by Scott Lee. Back at the 45-yard line, a loss of 2 on the play as Lee's doing his celebration dance.
Man, is that front four coming hard now? I think they're just a little bit upset. Boots.
What is with these spots on sacks? They will give him back to the line of scrimmage out to the 47-yard line, so it's 2nd and 3. How do you get a spot there when you were never near there? Except when you took the snap.
Yeah, there was no loss on the play, and he gets sacked.
How is that when you're sacked 3 yards deep? All right, 2nd down and 3 for Crowley. Once again at their own 47-yard line. Again, Epler under center. Alonzo Floyd behind him will take the inside trap. Floyd will skirt forward to the 50-yard line, and that's probably just enough needed for the 1st down. A gain of 3, or is it enough? This spot not quite as good as I thought it should have been.
Yeah,
they're going to put it on the Crowley side of the 50-yard line.
It looked like he got
to the 49 of Stephenville.
Close to the 49. I guess they said he scooted across the ground. You know, if you're Stephenville defense, you can do all that you want. You know, if you just want to run up the middle all night when you're down 28-10, I'll give you all that all you want. Hey, tonight up in Dallas, the Dallas Stars defending their Stanley Cup as they begin the defense of that. 2nd period score, Dallas on top of Pittsburgh, 4-1.
Wow. A little bit of excitement as they lowered the big flag as far as the Stanley Cup champions.
Man, that's
banner,
pretty strong to come out and put 4 on the board in the second period.
It is not enough for the first down, or is it? It is enough for the first down as they measure. So at the 50-yard line, Crowley will have first and 10. 28-10, Stephenville over Crowley with 3:32 to go here in the second quarter. And if you didn't hear the score from earlier, in the second quarter with about 5 minutes to go, Everman 20, Brownwood 14.
You know, Brownwood's never been on top in that game so far tonight.
I've always either scored to tie.
Or been behind.
So Epler is under center. Offset eye behind him. Wing back look. 2 split receivers. Straight drop for Epler. Looking to throw the deep ball up for Detron Forbes, who did not even look back.
Well, he was looking. He just didn't see the ball. It was over his outside shoulder. That's the 3rd time tonight we've seen that, Boots.
Well, and it's a situation where the receiver looked at the last moment, but I think the receivers have got to turn a lot quicker and look back for the quarterback in case it's simply over the outside shoulder. Then they can make an adjustment.
Well, if I'm one of the coaches, here's just into the receivers for Crowley. Every time he's throwing it right to the sideline stripe. Run that direction if you're going to run.
Boy, and look back about 6 paces off the line of scrimmage. Don't wait 12 yards downfield before you turn around. Steveville likes it, however, as it's second down and 10. Epler throwing the quick hitter across the middle, and Forbes makes the catch down to the 32-yard line. The quick slant was good as coming up trying to make the play was Scott. Scott almost looked like he was going for the INT, missed the ball. Forbes was able to get it and a first down to the 32-yard line.
That was just great concentration by Forbes, as you said. Man, because he was right over the middle around white jerseys everywhere. He had to know he was going to get pounded. He concentrated and brought the ball in. Good play.
First and 10 for the Eagles at the Stephenville 31. Delay handoff goes to Alonzo Floyd. Floyd will work his way down to about the 26-yard line. Hard running for him to pick up 5 to 6 yards. It'll set up second and less than 5 with 2:45 and counting here in the second quarter. And I don't believe that Crowley has many timeouts left. What is the scenario? They have 1 timeout remaining. So with now under 2.5 to play, the clock definitely a factor here getting late in the second quarter. Epler is under center. 1 back behind him is Floyd again. Second and 4 for him. Pitch to the far side is Floyd. Floyd trying to get outside of Scott Lee. He does. He picks up the first down, and then he is hammered out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. And that's Brady Gunn coming up from free safety to nail him out of bounds. The only bad thing about that for Stephenville is it's a first down for Crowley, and it stops the clock.
Well, and you saw the speed that time of
Floyd getting to the outside.
Yeah, Scott Lee have to change his angle, and he'll learn that as he plays faster running backs like that. But, yeah, just good play, good just to toss right and get to the corner.
Even though he went out of bounds, the clock is rolling with 2:04. Explain that. Epler under center, handoff straight through to Smith. Smith fumbles the ball, it's loose, and I believe Brady Gunn has gotten it. Back at the 12-yard line, Alonzo with another fumble does Floyd. He got through the line about 3 yards, then it looked like he lost it and then kicked it forward.
Man,
it came right to the free safety Gunn, and Stephenville takes over, and Crowley's got to be dejected. They were driving the football.
And that's twice tonight, Boots, that they've done that. You remember once down at the 30-yard line, and now this time inside the 20. I didn't see, I'm not sure exactly who that was in there. It looked like Monk and Parks were in there about the same time. We'll just have to wait and watch that on film, but the ball definitely just squirted loose.
You know, Art mentioned this morning. They played Mesquite Poteet earlier in the year. Played very well in the game, but gave up some costly turnovers that stopped some drives, much like we've seen here tonight.
Floyd taking a knee down here on the sideline. He looks, I don't know if he's hurt or just out of gas.
Or maybe dejected. Pitch to the near side, Hunter. Hunter trying to get to the corner. He does. 15, makes a move inside the 20, 22-yard line as he cut inside the 21 to the 22-yard line. Very close to the yardage needed for a first. He'll probably be spotted about a yard shy, so a 9-yard pickup, 138 and counting. They will give him the first down.
Yep. He's at the 22.
And I thought the first down was at the 23.
Once again, another great kick. A great kick out block by Derek Haney that time to get Hunter around the corner. I think we're going to put some more time back on the clock.
Let's wait and see. 128 is what is showing right now. I didn't think this was enough for the first down. Let's wait and see. What was that score I just heard the announcer make?
That's the one we had, the Granbury-Cleveland.
6-7 still. They will reset the 25-second clock and reset the game clock too. Let's wait and see.
But
28-10, Stephenville on top of Crowley. Still a lot of confusion. Boy, this is as much confusion as I've seen with a score clock in a long time. have a score in? Do not.
Not from 648.
1st and 10 for the Jackets. What are they going to do here? 138 is what they will put the clock at. They did all that for 10 seconds, and now they roll the clock, so by the time Stephenville snaps the ball, it'll be at about the 128 mark. Briles is under center, 2 backs behind him. He sends his fullback Wooten or Haney to the near side. Now Hunter goes that way as well. Briles is in some trouble. He'll improvise it. He will go to the 20-yard line and stumble over his own foot. A loss on the play of about 3, so with 1:10 and counting now, 2nd down and 12. And if Stephenville doesn't get a pretty big chunk on this one, expect them just to run out the clock.
Yeah, I think you're right. And again, Crowley a little low on timeout, so they can't stop the clock right here.
58 seconds and counting. Stephenville 28, Crowley 10. Remaining in the 2nd quarter, brought to us by Cook Lumber. Kendal Briles under center, 1 back behind him. Play action. Briles setting up, still looking. Now throwing the deep ball. Has an open receiver. It's Avalos at the 40-yard line, and it's severely underthrown, and I think the wind got a hold of that because Avalos was 15 yards behind the defensive backs. If that completion is made, it's a touchdown, and Kendal saw him late and almost looked like he threw off his back foot. Didn't really step into it.
I think that's one that Cody's going to see on film and say, man, I got to come back and get that one. Mikado coming out of the game looks like an arm or a wrist or something.
He's holding his right shoulder.
He's in a lot of pain.
And I don't know if a trainer has even seen him yet.
I don't know how he could miss him.
3rd down and 12. You're right. If Avalos has a chance to come back, out to Hunter. Hunter in some trouble. He will escape, make one man miss, and another. He will get great yardage out to the 30-yard line. Don't know if it's enough for the 1st down.
Looks a little short, like a couple of yards maybe.
So it's 4th down at about 2 with 34 seconds left. Now the clock is stopped because he went out of bounds. It's more like 3 yards needed for the 1st. Do you punt into the wind with 34 seconds left? I guess so. You don't want to have a chance of turning the ball over on downs inside your own 30.
Yeah, and you don't want to give them any life here at all, obviously.
Well, be careful. You're punting out to Detron Forbes, one of the fastest men in the district. O'Neal gets the snap back to him. His punt is away. End-over-end kick. He will punt that one out of bounds. Nice job by him. Not even going to allow Crowley a chance to return that, as down to 25 seconds is the clock, and the ball will be spotted at the 41-yard line of Crowley.
About a 31-yard kick, so that's not bad. No return is the best part of that.
End over end, obviously out of bounds when he kicked it directly, and well, when you can get that many yards into the wind.
Get used to it. If Stephenville punts a lot of times next week, you'll probably be seeing some of that as well.
I don't think they're going to punt to Mr. Deacon Burns next week.
Yeah, I think Coach Briles learned his lesson on kicking.
Hey, let's punt it to that. What's that kid's name?
Was it Reggie Hunt?
No, it was against Lubbock Estacado.
Oh yeah.
He tried to make the Cowboys at cornerback. What's his name? Yeah, let's punt to that Zebby guy. He won't hurt us.
I was thinking about this.
I still love giving him heck for that. Ball is tipped and almost intercepted at the line of scrimmage. Phelps was trying to come back from a strong safety position as one of the up front men knocked it down. Clayton Harmon, guess what? 6'6", get his arms in the air.
Oh, he's 6'8" now, Boots.
Well, according to what this, if he gets his hands in the air, he's over 7'5".
Yeah, good point.
Golly, and if he jumps, well, you know, who knows? 20 seconds remaining after the incompletion. Yeah, that's a great story when Stephenville's leading that game 7-6 against Lubbock Estacado in the quarterfinals.
Kick it to
It's 4th down, and Briles tells some of his staff, don't kick it to the other guy, kick it to Zebby. He can't hurt us. He only went about 70 for the winning score. Rolling to the near side is Epler trying to find his receiver. He does. Forbes makes the catch at midfield, keeps his feet, cuts across to the 45 of Stephenville, down to the 43-yard line. Clock will stop momentarily with 7 seconds remaining, and you didn't want to see that as a Stephenville fan because with the win from the 43, Crowley will have an opportunity to throw one for the end zone. Crowley will take their last time out. We'll take it with them. 28-10, Stephenville on top. We're back in 30 seconds on KSTV.
Ladies and gentlemen, the concession stand are being staffed at each home game by parents of Crowley band members. All proceeds from the concession stand.
Years before America's electric cooperatives forged the nationwide alliance, Touchstone Energy, neighbors built their own electric utility to power lives and communities. Now Touchstone Energy cooperatives serve millions of homes and businesses. Customers large and small get state-of-the-art technology and affordable service. From the one-room schoolhouse to the communities and businesses of tomorrow, trust Touchstone Energy, the power of human connections. Brought to you by your local Touchstone Energy partner.
Tanglewood Pharmacy and Tanglewood Medical Supplies are opening their doors to dole out those great products and services that everyone has come to know. Looks like some of their most recent customers have come from surrounding areas. Could this have something to do with the Stephenville Yellow Jackets? No matter where you're from or what you're doing in Stephenville, Tanglewood Pharmacy and Tanglewood Medical Supplies will open their doors to care for you personally.
Whether on or off the field, success requires focus, knowledge, and action. At Investment Centers of America, we focus on your goals, offer you our cumulative knowledge of investments and recommended actions that fit your objectives. We enjoy being your coach, but you're the quarterback. After all, it is your money. Investment Centers of America, Town and Country Bank Building, Stephenville. Investment Centers of America. We know the territory.
Welcome back. It is now 1st and 10, but only 7 seconds remaining. Epler is under center for Crowley. Straight drop for him under a big rush, and he'll be sacked. No, he escapes and will try to throw the football, but now Cal Jilson gets him all the way back at the 43-yard line. He was hit by Carroll and Harmon and then finished off by Jilson on the huge sack back to the 43-yard line, and A.J. Mercado is still hurt on the field. He tried to come back out and play, and he's just now getting off the ground, and that's will be a huge loss to Crowley if he's not able to play in the second half. 28-10, we go in at the half. Cook Lumber brought us the second quarter. Halftime's up next.
Nip in the air, changing leaves could only mean one thing.
It's football season!
I'm Roger Easter, your local Lennox dealer, and it's also home heating season.
I have the dish, the big screen, the recliner.
He also has a reliable, high-efficiency Lennox heat pump.
Yep, this season this is the best seat in the house, baby.
Thanks to Easter Air, it's also the warmest.
Lennox, one less thing to worry about.
Stephenville office, please. Make an effort, we'll make the difference. Walk in. All right.
Supporting the Jackets for over 30 years. Bill Tomlinson, class of 67. David Tomlinson, class of 71. The Stephenville Funeral Home, your family's friend in time of need in Stephenville.
And at halftime, the score is Cleveland 21 and Granbury 14. Kicking off for the Eagles, number 45, Jarrett Warren. Back deep to receive for the Jackets, number 10, Zach Hunter. Number 3, Jeremy Matkin. And number 38, Josh Wood.
Getting set to kick. Jarrett Warren, that is, for the Eagles. Stephenville will return to start the third quarter as they deferred the opening kick. Warren approaches the ball, kick is away. End over end pooch kick will come short at the 30-yard line, and Douglas will just go down and get it at the 30-yard line. And Douglas, if he does not get there, Crowley gets the football because Douglas got hammered the second he picked up the football, as they just did the Stephenville pooch kick, if you will, as a description, to the middle of the field, only 30 yards, and it rolled around on the ground a long time before any Stephenville player could get it. And if Douglas is not quick to react, Crowley has the ball at the Stephenville 30-yard line right now.
Yeah, that was a great plan right there to, kind of stay away from that long return like that Zach Hunter had in the first half.
Rangers open their game leading 1-0 in the first. Briles under center, 1st and 10 for the Jackets. 3 receivers on the near side. Running the option far side is Briles. Lots of running room across the 40. Knocked out of bounds at about near midfield. Let's wait and see on a gain of about 15 on the play, maybe 16 depending on the spot. And Kendal opens up the game with a nice first down for the Jackets here in the Texas Bank third quarter. Stephenville 28, Crowley 10.
Man, what a great fake by Derek Haney on the dive play, and he had like 3 guys on top of him, Boots, and he played it out all the way to the end.
First and 10 for the Jackets at the actual spot is right at the 45-yard line stripe, so 15 on the carry for Briles, 2 backs behind him. Hand up to the second man through Hunter. Hunter gets forward and free for about 4 yards. Scoots forward for that. It's now second down and 6. Second and 6 for the Jackets. Not quite to midfield yet. We'll start updating you on scores from around the area as everyone else is starting the second half as well as soon as they are available to us.
You know, that Brownwood-Everman game and the Cleburne game as well with Granbury was pretty close in time with ours, so you're exactly right. We ought to be running just about on the same time schedule.
4 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Briles under center. In some trouble, and now he'll escape across midfield. Cuts back. Great move across 45 down to the 41-yard line. A pickup of about 10 yards for Kendal Briles. Wanted to throw to the 1 receiver side. It was not open. He just tucked it under, found a seam, and went.
What a great move right at the line of scrimmage. He ducked out, did the old hip fake, went back inside and just lowered his end, as you said, got that 10 yards all the way down to the Crowley 40-yard line.
First and 10 for the Jackets. Jackets send O'Neill to the near side split. Douglas split to the far side. Double tight end look with Bashaw, I should say, as a wingback on the left side. Now Haney's a wing on the right as Hunter comes in motion to the near side. Flags down as O'Neill took off just a little bit too early in front of the line judge on the near sideline. So Steve will be guilty of the illegal procedure and 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, you can see that was pretty clear as Hunter came this way. They had gotten into a 5-man front again, Boots, and obviously had to abandon that pretty quickly. All the shifting started in the backfield by Stephenville.
Boy, if the Crowley Eagles get caught with 5 true defensive down linemen and Jackets go into that 5 receiver set and they start backing out of it, there's going to be a mismatch somewhere.
There's going to be trouble. They went back to the... Oh, they're in a 5 again.
They are in a 5-man look with the 2 backers. Hand off over the left side. Hunter finds a little bit of seam and more. Inside the 35. Great move at the 30, 25, and tackled finally at about the 23-yard line in a late flag. This might be a face mask against Crowley. And one of the Crowley Eagles is hurt back at the original line of scrimmage. He finally gets up. Going back, and now he may have to come out of the game.
It's going to be about 25 yards on the gain and then some more. You know, it's interesting, the official standing right there did not throw the flag, but it was the back judge that threw it, as if maybe it just kind of grabbed him by the helmet.
It is against Crowley, the 5-yard variety. Hurt on the play was DeJuan Jackson, the weak side linebacker. He is staying in the game, but he is definitely in some pain.
Boots, we have an update from Brownwood-Everman score. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. It is now Everman 26, Brownwood 21.
Whoops. How about that, Ken fans?
Let's see, I guess they scored, probably went for 2 and didn't get it.
Right. Josh Wooten, the carry over the right side, picks up about a yard for the Jackets. It brings them a second down and 9. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, you said?
Mm-hmm. I think they're giving Brownwood what they want tonight. Do
you think Brownwood wanted that?
Probably not.
Second down and 9 for the Jackets. Ball just outside the 15-yard line of Crowley. Steamwell leading 28-10. Briles play action, setting up, looking to throw, in some trouble, and he'll be sacked all the way back to the 21-yard line. He never saw Jared White, the backside pursuit rush, as Briles play action and drift a little bit to the far sideline, and then coming quick on him was Jared White. He'll be sacked, a big loss of about, what are we going to call the loss, 8 yards, 9 yards on the loss? It was a 1-yard gain originally. It is now third down and 16. So about 7 yards on the loss.
That's first negative yardage Kendall's had in quite some time. As you said, did not see the backside pursuit.
4 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. It is O'Neill. Briles under center, throwing out in the flats, has Hunter. Hunter gets past the original first down marker. It gets near the first down yardage needed, but it steps out of bounds. 4 yards short So here's an interesting call. 4th and 4 from about the 14-yard line.
They're on the same play to the other side.
It's even closer than that. It's at the 12-yard line. Yeah, they couldn't stop it there. So it's going to be 2nd and a long 4 needed for the Jackets, maybe even 5. But the Jackets look like they will be going for it. They'll send Madkins and O'Neal to the near sideline. Douglas splits to the far side. Douglas is 6'5". He has split on him. Detron Ford's, they list at 6 foot. He looks more like 5'9". And the Jackets will have to take a timeout to talk about it. 8:19 to go in the Texas Bank third quarter. 28-10 Stephenville, we're back.
And a child's success. Texas State Optical.
The Jackets will attempt the field goal.
Jackets, after the timeout, elect to try to kick a field goal. It will come from 28 yards. Snap down, hold down, kick on the way. It has plenty of distance. It is up, but it was pushed to the near side. It is no good. Even Nelson had plenty of leg on it. The officials look at each other, take a while to decide, and finally decide no good. It must have been very close to the upright as it went over. So the Jackets come away with no points on that drive as it stalls out at the 10-yard line at 8:13 to go in the Texas Bank third quarter. Stephenville 28, still Crowley 10. And wow, how interesting is that with 6 minutes to go and now less than that in the third quarter, Everman leading Brownwood still.
Boy, those extra points, though, you got to have them. As we well know, I'm sure evidently they probably went for 2 there.
To try to make it up, sure. So Crowley takes over on downs at the spot the field goal was attempted out at about the 18-yard line, make it the 19. Epler under center, pitch back, in some trouble and stacked up before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Clayton Harmon makes the stop on Alonzo, about a yard shy of the original line of scrimmage does go Floyd, and so it's going to be 2nd down and 11. 7:52 and counting here in the Texas Bank third quarter. 28-10, Stephenville on top of Crowley. 7:44 and counting now. 2 to the near side split for the Eagles. Wing back on that same side. 1 back is Floyd behind Epler. Epler is under center. Pitch to the near side coming to Floyd. Floyd trying to make a shake and bake move. He gets to the outside, but then it is run down at about the 23-yard line. A pickup of 3, maybe 4 on the play. Good help from the Jacket defensive backs as they help string him to the sideline. It'll bring up now 3rd down and a 7 needed for the Crowley Eagles. $7-10 and counting here in the third quarter. 3rd and 7 for the Eagles as they bring the ball out to the 23-yard line. Need to get just past the 30.
We'll give you a good case in point on the theory I had about those extra points that Everman missed.
Epler throwing out the flats. Throws it to a receiver. It's caught, bobbled, and then caught again. And now escaping for enough for a first down is Grandberry. Grandberry gets out to the 41-yard line before he's finally ridden down by Trey Feltz. Took one out of the Stephenville playbook, just throwing down the line of scrimmage to Brandon Grandberry. He picks up about 15 for the first down.
You know, obviously there's no automatic extra points.
Exactly.
But what's your better general average, odds, is kicking the extra point.
Sure.
So it's always been my theory, why take points away from you? Chance at almost automatic points.
Unless you're behind, maybe.
And you try to go for 2, right. Well, they miss it, right?
Right.
Brownwood just scored and missed the extra point, so it's 27-26.
Or it would have been tied if they'd kicked the extra point.
Yeah.
Pitch out to Floyd. Floyd looking to cut up, gets to the sideline across the 45 near midfield, a pickup of about 9 on the play. And John, just as a couple drives we saw in the first half, Crowley has the ability to move the football.
Yeah, and do it pretty rapidly, actually. So boy, that's a big shootout over there at Everman tonight, 27-26. Still in the third quarter, though, so there's a lot of football left to be played.
But it does help Everman out significantly missing that extra point, because if they want to go for 2, as you talked about not doing, it gives them the opportunity to get back to that 7-point cushion. Epler again under center, 2 backs behind him. The fullback Evans now goes in motion as Epler pump fakes and now is going to throw, and he is hammered. The ball is loose, picked up by Lee, running the other way, 30, keeps his feet, 25, 20, finally tackled at the 15-yard line as Epler was hammered after the 25-yard run. Making the stop was Robert Harrison, who crashed in, ran over Epler after he pump faked. He was looking for a clearing receiver on the near side, never got to bring the ball completely back down as Harrison hit him. The ball popped out. Lee did a nice athletic ability of bringing the 25-yard return after the fumble.
Man, that was a great athletic move by Scott Lee to pick the ball up on the run with a guy right there on him. And, I mean, there was never any doubt what Big Scott Lee was going to try to do. He was going to try to score.
Well, he was stumbling for a lot of it because it was so hard with the guy riding him to pick up the ball. He did a great job to keep his balance as long as he did. Handoff over the left side. Brady Gunn in at tailback now for the Jackets. Picks up about 5 for Stephenville. Sets up second down and 5 for the Jackets. Was it Zach?
Yeah.
It was Zach Hunter, 10, taking the handoff for Stephenville, about 5 yards.
Man, I tell you, Crowley has had so many opportunities to be in this football game tonight.
That's the third significant turnover on a good drive for them.
Yeah, I mean, just as you had just said, they're moving the ball and moving it quite well. Boom. They take the air right out of their sails.
Second and 5 for the Jackets, just out the 10-yard line in Crowley territory. 28-10, Stephenville on top, 5.5 to go in the Texas Bank third quarter. Throwing the deep fly pattern up for Douglas. He goes up. Does he make the catch? He's out of bounds. It was a catch made on the far sideline. Steve Ross had a great angle at it. Stevie, was it that close as it looked from the press box?
Great job to go up and get it, but his left foot did come down out of bounds. The referee or the official, the side judge on it, made the correct call. Coming up after this, we'll have a Cross Timbers Orthopedics injury update for you.
All righty, Steve, we'll come to you after this play. So it's now third down, and we'll really call it 6. Closer to that than it is 5. The ball just outside the 10-yard line. Briles is under center again. 5:23 to go. Handoff over the left side. Hunter gets enough for the first down. Close to the goal line. Touchdown, Zach Hunter. Great move for him just outside the 10-yard line. Then another great move at the 3 to escape and extend the football out. Zach Hunter scores to extend the lead now 34-10. The extra point upcoming at the 5:18 mark of the Texas Bank third quarter.
Well, Zach Hunter just good straight ahead running. I was going to say that was just Stephenville power football right there. After they get turnover, what did they do? Just other than they pass out of bounds, just run it right up the middle on them.
Awaiting the snap. Petronas puts it down. Nelson's kick is up, and it is good. 5:18 to go in the third quarter. It's Stephenville 35, Crowley 10. Back in 1 minute. Well, the shootout in Everman continues. Everman has retaken the lead on a 55-yard quarterback sneak. We're waiting on word to see what the extra point status is.
They tell us it was third down and about a foot. They go for it, and probably everybody just caved the line of scrimmage. As we well know, that quarterback can run, breaks the line of scrimmage, goes 55 yards.
What a shootout going on over there.
And again, as you said, we do need to wait to see how the extra point turns out. Do they go for 2 again?
What happened? Well, we're waiting to see still.
I guess you got to go for 2 now.
Well, to extend to the 7-point. They missed the extra point. Virgin's kickoff away to Crowley up to the 33-yard line and stopped right there immediately. Making the tackle for Stephenville was Monty Derrick coming up quickly.
So that would be 33-27, is that right?
It remains a 6-point lead, and Everman now has not converted on 3 consecutive extra points. Boy, they could have right now, instead of a 6-point lead, could have a 9-point lead.
That last scoring drive, 3 plays, 16 yards, took 46 seconds. Hunter on the 11-yard run. That scoring drive brought to you by Barnes and McCullough. 32-27.
Excuse me, 32-27 is a 5-point lead. So once again, Epler under center, pits back to Floyd. Floyd trying to get to the corner. He cups up, and then he is tackled at about the 42, 43-yard line. Monk and Scott running him out of bounds. You see Phelps on the play coming up for strong safety. Had no desire to tackle him at all. He was going for one thing.
The ball.
Yes. I saw him fly by there and try to strip the ball out from under him. He knew he had help behind him for the tackle, and why not? He's had some success in stripping the ball, and Crowley has had a tough time holding on to the football. Nice try from him. It is a pickup of 9 on the play. It's second down and 1. 35-10, Stephenville on top in the third quarter.
Still the third quarter over Everman, by the way.
Epler straight ahead to Evans. Evans sneaks forward for just enough for the first down. They'll say his foot was down at the 45-yard line. Picks up about 3. That's enough for the first down here in the Texas Bank third quarter. 4:26 to go, 35-10 Stephenville.
Did you say his foot was down or his knee?
Well, if his foot was down, then I hope that the knee came too.
Yeah, I would hope that at some point that foot would be down. Well, Eagles are flying high tonight in Crowley.
Well, they do have wings.
Yeah. Well,
I did see an original sign for Crowley. It said D-Wing the Jackets. Don't know if I've ever seen that or not. Epler straight drop. Now rolling to the far sideline. Throwing at the far sideline, and only person that had a chance to catch that was the Stephenville cheerleading squad.
5-man front that time the Jackets went to. That was Gilson playing out, I guess, like a stand-up end, which he knows how to play that position.
Sure.
And got in and kind of rushed Epler, and he more or less just threw it away.
You know, I've just noticed this, that the film crew if you're watching the cable broadcast of Nothing But Sports.
It's on the other side.
They're on the other side, and every time I say to the near side or far side, it's opposite.
Yeah. See if you can change that. No, never mind.
Boy, that would be confusing all of a sudden for the people sitting in the stands. Epler looking to throw, pump fakes, then throws, and it's almost picked off and then caught. Oh, my. A tackle down to the 37-yard line, and Mr. Scott right now has got to be thinking, I had that one. It went right through his hands.
How did he miss that? I'm with you. I thought he had it and was running the other way.
Well, he had so much of the football that it completely changed directions and knuckled after it went through his hands, and it just happens to land in the hands of Detron Forbes, the wide receiver. It's enough for the first down. So it's 1st and 10 for Crowley at the Stephenville 38-yard line, and I jinxed him a while ago. I'll try again. Here's another good Crowley drive. All of these have ended so far mainly on fumbles or interceptions. Throw across the middle to Forbes. No flag is thrown as Stephenville was pretty much riding Forbes on the play. It's incomplete. It brings up 2nd and 10.
That was a great play by Scott. That was a great play as he tipped it, knocked the ball away, and then made sure that there was no way that Forbes would get it. This update from the Brownwood-Everman game. Brownwood on the ensuing kickoff fumbled the ball, and Everman now has the ball 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
And it's got to be pretty deep in their territory if they fumble the kickoff. So it's 2nd down and 10 for Crowley at the 37-yard line of Stephenville. Pitch to the far side, Floyd. Floyd fumbles the football, tries to go back and get it, cannot. Stephenville recovers, and I believe it's Monk coming up with it.
It is.
It is Mr. Monk. The fumble again will go back to Stephenville, and what's wrong with Crowley trying to hold on to the football tonight?
That's just a lack of concentration on Forbes.
Fourth fumble tonight.
I mean, it's just not looking the ball in. That was a great pitch. That wasn't the quarterback's fault. He just lost his concentration there. And look, he's pleading his case to the coach. The coach says, no.
Boy, and now he's to the point where nobody wants to talk to him.
Now he's got to go out and play defense. Just for that, go play defense. By the way, that ball was on the 45-yard line where they fumbled. It wasn't the kickoff. It was during the drive.
All right, so it's 1st and 10, still near midfield. Great field position for Everman. 1st and 10 for, we're doing play-by-play on 2 games right now.
What is that?
1st and 10 for the Jackets. We're only in week 2 of district. Briles is under center, handing to the first man through. Great running room for Derek Haney. Haney gets a solid 9 yards as he bulls his way forward for about 9, and that reminds me of the way somebody else used to run the ball that about had the same physical build as him. We called him the Big Bull about 3 years ago.
Oh, the Big Bull, Odell?
Odell, thank you.
Yeah, that's right. I had to think of which bull we were talking about. You know, I think something we talked about during the break there. Looked like Stephenville's just going to load it up and play some power football now.
Actually, 8 yards on the carry, handoff again. Now this time to Wooten. Wooten gets very close to the yardage needed for a first down.
That should be a flag.
Now a late flag comes, and I think a little extracurricular activity on the part of Crowley trying to tackle as Jared White.
I think a little frustration right there. That's a good way to get your runner hurt. As Wooten went down, he kind of twisted his leg and then slung it. And the referee's the one that threw the flag, I believe. Let's see.
Dead ball, personal foul against Crowley, so tack on 15 yards to the end of that.
I know Steve Ross was down there. Maybe we can get that injury update, and then I'll have a question for Steve.
Go ahead, Stevie.
All right, the Cross Timbers injury update from Cross Timbers Orthopedics. Easy for me to say. Good news. You know, Evan Nelson's been hit on just about every extra point and field goal he's kicked. He really got his leg stepped on and rolled up on that first extra point. He looked like he may have come out, but he's taken that off and done okay. The other one, Alonzo Floyd and Brady Gunn were involved in a huge collision right in front of me before halftime. Now, I talked to Dr. Bill Evans. He says there's no concussion, but they have held Brady Gunn out in the second half. And you'll notice that defensive backfield's been shaken out.
All righty, Derek Haney takes the handoff. Stay right here with us, Steve, for about 2 yards. So holding out Gunn for the second half, just a precaution?
Yeah, I talked to Dr. Evans when I saw him not play the first couple series, and he said, no, he's fine. They just don't want to take any chances. But it was as violent a collision. They met helmet to helmet as I've ever seen. If you'll notice now, Petronas and Scott are the corners. Fanning and Feltz are the safeties.
Artie, I know John had a question for you. We'll hold till after this play. Inside trap, hand off to Walker. The ball is loose, and I believe Crowley has gotten the football.
Yeah,
Walker went by Briles before Briles could get him the handoff, and he did not stop. He just kept running.
My question, Steve, was on that 15-yard penalty. Did I see it properly from my angle, like he was kind of just twisting his leg as he went down?
Yeah, it was just a little. And the officials doing a good job there. That was one they could have overlooked. But anytime you're in danger of injuring a player like that after the whistle's blown, there needs to be a flag, and there was.
All righty, thank you, Stevie. Quick inside trap for the Jackets leads to the fumble, and so Crowley will take over. Is that the first turnover for Stephenville tonight?
I believe it is.
It is the first turnover against the Jackets. It comes with 2:10 to go in the Texas Bank third quarter. 35-10, Stephenville on top of Crowley. Epler under center, pitch back again to Floyd. Floyd gets back to the line of scrimmage. He stood up and he powers forward for about 2 yards. Coming up quickly for the Jackets was Kent Howe getting some playing time now. He's in there as well as I see some more white-type jerseys as well, so some other people getting some good playing time.
Boy, this is a year of comebacks for Stephenville Yellow Jacket players, is it not? I mean, Kent Howe, of course, has had such bad luck with his knee, and then, of course, Derek Haney getting to come back and play some fullback this year. 2nd down and 7 for the Eagles. Epler under center, 2 backs to the far side, 2 to the near side, 1 back behind him, as I should say it is split receivers to both sides. 1:30 and counting in the Texas Bank third quarter. Crowley jumps off sides a little early, and nice job by Scott Lee, who had broken free to not run over Epler as he heard the whistle, because if he does not pull up, probably a penalty there. Wouldn't you like to have a zoom-in camera on Scott Lee's eyes when he saw that quarterback? I mean, he was ready to just run right over him, and I imagine Epler's probably more happy of the offsides than anybody.
35-10. I tell you, if I'm Epler, even though I hear the whistle, I think I'd have gotten a little bit of a ready position.
Exactly. You never know if that guy's going to stop or not.
2nd down and 12. It's like, you see a car coming at you and you're stopped, but they've got their blinker on. You need to wait to make sure they turn before you pull out.
It's just like that.
Thank you very much. Just like it, but absolutely not. 2nd and 12. Play action. Now a draw to Floyd. Floyd finds some running room across the 30, keeps his feet, 40, 45, near sideline across midfield, and knocked out of bounds at the Stephenville 45-yard line. And credit all of that one to Alonzo Floyd, who got hit at the line of scrimmage, broke free, and then outran everyone to the sideline.
He ran into a 2-6-11 collision. That, of course, being the numbers of Feltz, Petronas, and Harris. Man.
That's pretty good calling 3 numbers, 3 names in a row for you right there, Johnny.
I can read,
It's on their backs. 1st and 10 at the 45 of Stephenville. 1:02 here in the Texas Bank third quarter. Stephenville 35, Crowley 10. It's about time for another turnover.
Yeah, really.
Crowley, Epler under center. Straight drop, looking to throw it in the flats. Has a receiver, Detron Forbes. He loses the ball and almost taken by Stephenville Scott. It hit Forbes in the hands. It bounced up on his shoulder pad and spun around for a little bit. Scott dove and almost picked that one up off the grass before it hits.
I thought Jeff had that one off his back.
Boy, and you would have had to give me high fives on calling for the fumble on that particular play or the turnover. It is just an incompletion, as now it's 2nd down and 10.
Man, again, that's just another case in point of Forbes just not concentrating, Boots, and looking the ball in. He's the one that fumbled just a moment ago, as you recall.
The Eagles have been hit pretty hard at times by this Jacket defense. You've got to wonder if they're in the thought process. Come to the near side. It's Granberry. A great job by Carroll to force it back inside, and then Cal Gilson's there to clean him up after a 2-yard gain on the reverse attempt. Granberry came from a receiver on the far side to the near side. He was pitched the ball by Epler, and Gordon Carroll forced him back inside so Gilson could finish him off.
Granberry got up, talked a little smack. He's like, I got 2.
2 yards.
Maybe 3.
3rd down and 7 for the Eagles. 28 seconds and counting.
Boy, that was just a clinic there by Gordon Carroll. Staying home at his defensive end, not being suckered in on the reverse. Great play by Gordon Carroll.
3rd down and 7. The Can fans across the way raised to the occasion. Epler under center, sends Evan in motion to the far side. Now Epler rolling back, setting up to throw. Has got a little room, but tries to throw the ball away. Great defensive play is made on the far sideline to knock it away incomplete. Who was the defensive back? Was it Fanning?
I believe it was Fanning.
Dove in front of the would-be receiver Forbes out there, knocked it away. It brings up 4th down.
What a great read by Fanning. Just played behind the receiver. He's done that the last couple of weeks, Boots, if you remember, just kind of laying back and then breaking on the ball when the quarterback commits to the play. Just a great read.
4th and 7. Crowley elects to go for it, I believe. 3 seconds remaining here in the quarter. Texas Bank third quarter. 35-10, Stephenville on top. Epler brings them up to the line. Eagles will go for it. 2 receivers far side, 2 to the near side. 1 back is Evans behind Epler under center. Straight drop for him. He's in a rush. He'll throw the ball that's over the head of everyone, and Cal Gilson has absolutely blanketed Epler back at the 15-yard line.
Oh, man.
As Epler took 1 step and was about to throw the ball, and hello, 6'4" Cal Gilson right in your face, and Epler just had to throw the ball away.
Nothing, note to Nothing But Sports Production. Put that one in the highlight film for the end of the year. Cal will want that one.
Oof. So that ends our Texas Bank third quarter. Stephenville 35, Crowley 10. We start the fourth back in 1 minute on KSTV. Stephenville takes over on downs to begin the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter each and every week brought to us by Techstar Ford. Thanks, Doug and guys.
I think you might see us throw the football here in the fourth quarter with the wind.
Briles in shotgun, looking to throw, flags down, deep ball downfield to Avalos. He would have scored, but they'll blow this one dead. He caught the ball in stride at the 25-yard line, but whistles had blown the play dead.
I think TJ might have taken off just a step early. That's the third time tonight we've seen that.
What's that noise?
It'll be the band.
The bass drum, it's got to be.
Played on. Why am I singing? I'll have to listen to that on Tuesday night and Thursday night. I'm sorry.
And so will the Cross Timbers.
I apologize right now.
5 yards penalized on the Jackets, brings the ball back to about the 38-yard line. 1st and 15 for the Jackets. And you're right, with the win and this young offense still trying to get a feel for themselves, will want to work on the passing game, especially with the Brownwood Scouts sitting next to us. 1st and 15 for Stephenville. Briles looking to the sideline for the signal of the play.
We're just now in the fourth quarter. And Everman just tried a 40-yard field goal and missed. So we go to the fourth quarter, 32-27, Everman on top. That would have been a big 3 points.
Huge would that have been, because it had been more than the touchdown lead.
Yeah, you couldn't lose. You could tie, but you couldn't lose.
Would have given them the 8-point lead. Briles in shotgun, trips to the near side, twins to the far side. Briles in some trouble, will now elect to run. He gets a block from O'Neal, gets the corner, 35-40, great block, 46-yard line, and O'Neal, who did he take out? As Briles is hammered 5 yards out of bounds, and it was not official to see it because the officials had already turned their back to Briles out of bounds, wanting to spot the play.
He slipped down over here on the near side.
Oh, let me make my stuff.
But 66 was standing there close, and I think that was that's what it looked like. But he did slide down over on, I'm not sure what that is over there, some bags or something.
Tartan turf over there, what's behind there?
Yeah, there's some bags over there, and I think he slipped over that.
It was a gain of about 10 on the play by Briles, and he is all right. He was a little slow getting up, trips to the far side.
What a block by
O'Neal.
He just bent the guy over backwards.
Briles is under center. Throwing out in the flats, has Avalos across the yard line for the line of scrimmage, across midfield, and who is that flying over the pile?
I think that was Keggins again.
He loves that. It was a pickup of about 3 on the play, so it'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Jackets, just into Crowley territory, or is it? No, they still spot on the Stephenville side of the 50-yard line, so 2 solid yards needed on 3rd down. 35-10, Stephenville on top of Crowley with 11:24 to go in the Techstar Ford fourth quarter. Briles under center. Offset eye behind him. Inside handoff to Walker. Walker gets the first down and more. Inside the 45, still running, trying to get to the 40-yard line. He's run out of bounds right there, but a flag back around the 48, 47-yard line, and this is right in the area you usually see holding or illegal block.
Well, what a great run by David Walker, who never did go down. He was right at the first down marker, too.
Well, this will be the flag is at the 47-yard line. That is past the yardage needed for the first down. So if they spot it there and then go back 10 yards, it'll end up being about 3rd down and 11. What? It is a face mask against Crowley. How can they throw
a defensive lineman?
Yeah, and it must have been not at the ball because the flag was thrown way past the play.
Unless they grabbed it as David went Walker went by.
And he was late getting the flag out of his pocket because that was a long way away from the play. So it is not a penalty against Stephenville. It is against Crowley. And add 5 more yards onto the end of the play. It's spotted at the 35-yard line of Crowley. 1st and 10, Stephenville.
They looked like they were talking to Crowley, didn't it?
It did so. Trips to the near side, twins to the far side. Briles in shotgun, setting up, looking to throw. Has an open receiver, Douglas, and goes down to a knee, and then he's hit. It is enough for a first down, I believe. And is that a late flag? It is a late flag coming down.
He was tackled after he was already down. And again, that's one of those tough calls as a defender. You know, you see the guy down, but
then he pops right up. You don't know, did he go down or not?
Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't that hard of a hit. That's one they could have let go, but they're not going to do it right in front of Stephenville. Look at the referee.
Let's go to Steve Ross right here because something interesting just happened. The Stephenville coaching staff immediately got in the referee's face and was upset about something, and the referees told the Stephenville coaching staff to go back to the box. What happened, Steve?
Well, I'm not down there in front of that. I was on the other side of Stephenville's pile, but I can tell you that side judge and Art Briles are not going to be sending any Christmas cards this year. They've had a war of words going on all night long. And I can see that play real clearly. If you're down with contact from your knee, then T.J. Douglas was down a good 2 seconds before he was hit. You heard the whistle blow. You know, if the official blows the whistle and then sees the kid hit him after that, I don't know how he can not throw that flag.
Well, he did.
All righty,
and
Steve.
I think that's what the official was probably saying to the coach staff. We got it, okay?
Leave us alone. We made the call.
I promise you, we got it. Maybe you didn't see the flag, but we've got it.
All right, tag on 15 yards after that one for the personal foul. Move the ball after the Douglas reception all the way to the 12-yard line.
I think that almost ends up being half the distance.
So Briles is under center, handing to the second man through. That's Haney. Haney gets to the 5-yard line, or was it Haney? Let's wait and see. They unpile. No, it was not Haney. It's Josh Wooten. Wooten with some good running outside the 12 down to the 5. Pickup of 7 for him. It'll set up now. 2nd down and 3 for Stephenville. 10:37 to go in the in the Techstar Ford 4th quarter. Texas Bank handled the 3rd quarter. It's 35-10 Stephenville on top of Crowley.
Well, that's just a case of bringing in a guy like Wooten, bringing in some fresh legs, and just hammering on his tired Crowley defense right now.
2nd and 3 for the Jackets, just outside the 5-yard line. Briles under center, handing to the second man through. That's Wooten. Wooten close to the goal line. Touchdown, Josh Wooten. Stephenville extends at the 10-11 mark of the Techstar Ford 4th quarter. It is now 41-10. Stephenville with the extra point attempt coming up.
Josh Wooten on that run there, and boy, you could just see the spring in his legs as he
was our sparred player of the week.
Yes, he was, and he's been doing some great work in the 4th quarter.
Snap from Doty back to Petronas. The hold down. Nelson's kick is up, and it is good. Nelson that time avoided the guy trying to block and hit him. He sidestepped him after making the extra point. So with 10-11 to go in the Techstar Ford 4th quarter, Stephenville 42, Crowley 10. A big score we want to bring to you from Everman, but before that, Johnny, the last scoring drive.
6 plays, 57 yards, only took a minute 49. Wooten on the 5-yard run. That scoring drive brought to you by River North Small Animal Hospital. It is in the 4th quarter from Everman. Everman has just scored again. The score now 39-27. Everman on top of Brownwood.
12-point lead for Everman. They did kick an extra point.
Yeah, they kicked it that time.
Went with the Johnny theory. Virgin getting set to kick off again. High end-over-end kick that will be taken by Forbes back at the 7-yard line. Coming to the near side across the 15 to the 20, and a great open field tackle is made for Stephenville. Monty Derrick again with a great open field tackle. And boy, Forbes went down funny when he got tackled.
I hate to see him do that. Steve Ross is not going to be happy with that score. I know. I know, and I'm with him on this.
Okay, Ross, can you kind of sneak to some of the coaches and tell them that score?
No, don't. Don't you?
I'm updated all night.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
They want to know. They won't leave me alone.
They just announced it to the masses.
And if you'll quit telling the PA guy, I'll be like the source for football scores in the Cross Timbers area.
They won't leave us alone now,
either,
Ross.
I'm telling you. Pitch back to Floyd. Floyd looking for some running room. Not much. He'll get forward for about 2 yards out to the 21-yard line. 42-10, Stephenville on top. And
I'll tell you what we'll do, Ross. We'll delay telling him from now on, all right? We'll tell you. You can tell the coaches.
Well,
we'll tell the listeners.
How about all the fans that are listening to the simulcast? When we give it, go ahead and start screaming, then everybody else will want to know what you're talking about around you.
They'll get it as well, that's for sure.
All right.
No, I've been staying ahead of the PA guys.
Attaboy.
All right.
We're trying.
Way to go, Stevie.
One thing to notice here, a lot of reserves in for the Yellow Jackets on defense now.
We'll try to get to some of who those names are, as it is 2nd down and 7 for the Jackets. Epler on a draw, giving the ball once again to Floyd. Floyd gets out to about the 25-yard line, a gain of 3 to 4 on the play. It'll set up 3rd and 3.
Chris Stone fanning, and is that Scott in the backfield?
Yeah, and Chad Hodges is in there as well with Daniel Medina.
Oh, good to see Medina back, because I believe it was last week, wasn't it?
Got hurt a little bit?
Yes, he got it was an ankle or a knee, I forget.
Richard Silva also in the game at linebacker. Harrison in the game as well. He's been playing a little bit with the other crew as well. 3rd and 3 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 25-yard line. Looking to throw in the flats over the head of the intended receiver, but he came back to make a great catch. He is Granberry, and then he made one more move, and he is tackled, goes to a knee at the 33-yard line. And this is not good. You look at one of our starting corners, Fanning, limping pretty good right now.
It looked like he kind of slipped on the turn there. That time the receiver looked, Boots, like you were saying, and he looked over that outside corner right where Epler's been putting it all night, and they connected. That's one of the few that he's connected on tonight. 7 of 17 now for 135 yards.
It is 1st and 10, and caught in the backfield is Epler, getting in there quickly for the Jackets. That was Nathan Wilson making the stop.
Almost a fumble as they faked the belly there, or the dive play. And as he pulled the ball out, he was hit, as you mentioned, by Nathan Wilson, and almost caused a fumble.
8:05 and counting here in the Techstar Ford 4th quarter, 42-10. Johnny, just got a new truck from there, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Hey, here's an update from from Granbury on the Cleveland score. We'll have it after this.
Epler again under center, one back behind him. Looking to throw is Epler. Epler throwing the deep ball, has an open receiver. It's Detron Forbes. Can't make the catch after he pushed off Fanning.
Forbes is not going to want to see this game film.
Oh.
He has had a hard night. That score, Cleburne now, this is 4th quarter, 5 minutes to go in the game. Cleburne 27, Granbury 21. So another close game in District 6-4A.
And remember, Granbury is the team last week that Brown beat 63 to almost 20-something. So a nice turnaround for the Pirates to be in a close game against a tough foe in Cleburne.
Yeah, and as we said at the beginning of the game, a must-win really for the Pirates.
Under center is Epler. Once again, Alonzo. Floyd is behind him. Epler looking to throw. Throwing on the deep far sideline. It's up for grabs, and it's intercepted. Making the pick is Scott for the Jackets. Headed the other way. 40, 45 across midfield. 45, 40, inside the 35, down to the 30. Keeping his feet knocked out of bounds at the 27-yard line. 38 yards on the return after the pick by Scott of the Epler pass.
And I thought Forbes had the ball, and Scott might have just taken it away from him.
Well, also over there was
Steve had a better look at it. We'll go to him and see what he noticed down there.
Tell us, Stevie.
Well, that was Jeff Scott all the way. He
Scott
made a great play on the ball, got inside position on it, and just went up and did a great job of being aggressive and taking the ball. Forbes really never had a chance for that. Great job of coaching that time by Mike Copeland, who coaches the defensive back. Scott kept his body in between the offensive player and himself.
Petronas in the game now. Quarterback gives the ball to Walker across the 20, 15, 10. He will score 5, touchdown. David Walker will go the distance, 27 yards, and Stephenville extends now 48-10 here in the Techstar Ford 4th quarter with the extra point upcoming.
Well, if there was any doubt, I'm not really sure there was.
Well, and that was some second-teamers in the game for the Jackets. Petronas was in quarterback and some other linemen as well. It was an inside trap to Walker. He found a big seam, and there was no purple jerseys around to stop him. Jackets getting set for the extra point. Virgin now in the game he's going to give a try for the extra point. Petronas has the hold. Snap back, hold down, kick is on the way in. It is blocked. It's blocked out to about the 24-yard line. Looking to pick it up is Crowley, and then he'll be tackled immediately. It's from the same side.
Okay, I saw what happened that time.
Stephenville has had some trouble by people coming on the near side, getting around the wing back, and that time got through for the block. We'll talk about it after the break. back after that last play, Johnny, the last scoring drive.
Well, one play, 26 yards. It only took 6 seconds. Walker on that 26-yard run. And the PAT was no good. First one they've missed tonight, by the way, and it's now 48-10. That scoring drive brought to you by Walmart Vision Center. We have some update scores to pass along to you in just a moment.
Virgin with the kickoff for the Jackets. High end over end pooch that will be taken by the back man, coming up to take it at around the 20-yard line. Up to the 30 is Granberry, and he gets out to the 36-yard line before he's tackled. Crowley will start 1st and 10 right there, as you said, trailing 48-10 to Stephenville. 7:15 to go in the fourth quarter.
In District 7-3-8, Dublin homecoming night, they win easily over Troy, 34-12. Dublin Lions strong,
5-0,
and they're putting some points on the board too. 30-40 points every game. Breckenridge on top of Merkel, 36-3, and Ballinger all over Comanche, 38-6 in the fourth quarter.
Comanche having a tough time this year.
And we'll try to get you an update from Everman here in just a moment.
Split receivers both sides, I formation behind Epler, taking the pitch again. Flags down is Alonzo across the 40, trying to make a cutback, gets out to the 47, 48-yard line. Does go Alonzo Floyd, but this one's probably coming back.
Well, that might be offsides on the defense. Let's see.
We got a bunch of
they're coming back.
Second teamers, and I think you're starting to see that with Crowley as well, giving some other people some playing time up on the interior line.
Although Floyd and Epler, of course, staying in as a legal procedure.
Still the last score we had from Everman with how much to go in the ball game?
I was just in the fourth quarter.
Just during the fourth quarter, Everman leading by 12 over Brownwood. You know, and what's interesting about that, John, is not only having a 12-point lead is that interesting, but how many points that Brownwood is giving up.
Yeah, we've seen them do that all year, but they have such firepower that they can outscore, of course, their opponent. Have some updates in the baseball scores we'll pass along to you here in just a moment.
1st and 15 for the Crowley Eagles as they're backed up to their own 31-yard line after the illegal procedure penalty. Pitch to the far side is Alonzo, gets back to the line of scrimmage, back to the 5 yards that he lost on the illegal procedure. Does go Alonzo Floyd, so it'll bring up now 2nd down and 10. Johnny, baseball scores?
Texas on top of Anaheim in the fourth, 2-0. 9th inning, New York 11, Tampa 7. It's a final. Toronto defeats Cleveland 8-6.
With a Ranger win tonight, they pull within one game of the best record in the American League, and the Yankees, if they hold on, would be tied for the best record.
And it is a final from L.A. defeats Houston 5-1. And the Mets beat Pittsburgh in 11.
Boy, that one's tied again. Epler on a keeper after the fake across the 40, out to the 45, gets across midfield, and then he's met by Wooten. Wooten throws him down at the 47-yard line. More flags are down at the line of scrimmage.
Almost the same spot as we had before, like a receiver's leaving early. It's a final in hockey. Dallas defeats Pittsburgh tonight 6-4. What offense there. And that Cincinnati-Milwaukee score still 3-1. That's in the 8th inning.
6:01 remaining here in the Techstar Ford fourth quarter. 48-10, Stephenville on top of Crowley. That one must have been against Stephenville because they're picking it up.
Well, let's see. Offsides. Yep.
Is declined. Ball out at the 46-yard line of Stephenville now with Crowley after that last Epler keeper. 5:56 and counting in the Techstar Ford fourth quarter. Epler under center, 2 backs behind him. Floyd the tailback, Evans the fullback. Split receivers both sides. Epler now sends Evans in motion to the far side and gives straight ahead to Floyd. Floyd finds a little bit of running room, gets to the 41, a pickup of about 5 on the play. It's enough, I believe, for the first down.
Nice tackle by Medina that time.
In open field was Medina. So we'll wait and see. Is it enough for the first down? First down is awarded to Crowley. They'll move the chains, and as soon as they're set, the clock will start again, and he goes ahead and rolls the clock. 5:27 without the chains even being set. Epler under center. The one back in the backfield now is Floyd. Double tight end look. Split receivers both sides. Setting up Epler, looking to throw. Still looking. Throwing back across the middle. It's almost picked off. Oh, and Silva had one right between the nines and his hands and cannot come up with the interception, and Epler broke the John and Boots rule for quarterbacks.
Yeah, throwing late over the middle.
Never throw late back across the middle.
Hey, Texas now on top of Anaheim, 5-0 in the fifth.
That sounds like a home run.
Let's see. Yeah, probably. It'd be one game behind Cleveland.
They would be one game behind Cleveland and New York. Cleveland and New York would be tied for the best record. The Rangers would be one game back. Epler running the option, keeps the ball, goes around the corner, picks up a first down inside the 30, inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Pickup of about 16 yards on the play. Boy, don't you know the Rangers are kicking themselves for those losses to Tampa and Kansas City.
And Detroit. I was just thinking that. I was just thinking
here in the last 2 to 3 weeks. 1st and 10 for the Eagles with 4:58 and counting at the Jacket 23-yard line.
Not a lot of people from Stephenville side have gone home. Maybe they're wanting to hear that Brownwood score.
Well, they're also getting an opportunity to see a bunch of defenders who not regularly play, getting some great playing time right now. Floyd gets around the corner, 20, inside the 15, to the 15 is there. He is spotted out of bounds.
Nice tackle by Phelps, just roll up under his leg. That's the way to do it when a guy is big like that coming hard around the corner.
8 yards on the carry, sets up 2nd and 2, 4.5 counting in the Techstar Ford fourth quarter.
Boy, Alonzo Floyd's got to be a tired man.
48-10. How many carries does he have in the game now? That's 25 carries for 102 yards.
Well, that's a tough way to make 102 yards.
25 carries at 4 yards a clip. That's a busy night, and he'll probably get some more carries still with this drive remaining. Epler looking to throw, throwing the deep ball on the near sideline. It's up, and is it caught? Incomplete, as Forbes had a chance to make the catch in the end zone and cannot hold on to the football.
That's got to be 5-6 times tonight that he's had the ball in his hands. Boy, that poor kid, like I said, he's not going to want to watch films probably tomorrow morning.
So it sets up 3rd down and 2 now for Crowley at the Stephenville 15-yard line. Stephenville on top 48-10. 3rd and 2, Epler under center, 2 backs behind him, and now the right tackle for Crowley fires off offsides, and how unusual is that? Epler was not even under center yet.
Listen to this, Boots, from Everman. Brownwood scores.
Right.
39-34, 3:33 to go in the game. Kicking onside, recovered it.
So they have the ball, trailing by 5, 39-34.
3:33 to go in the game.
Woo!
That's been a great football game over at Everman.
All right, people listening on the simulcast, turn and tell all your friends.
Steve Ross, did you get that? So you can go tell the coach. Well, you might want to wait and see what we do on the onside kick.
So Epler is under center, 2 backs behind him. Giving on the draw, now faking the draw. Epler looking to throw. He's in some trouble, and he will be thrown down for a loss all the way on the sack back of the 29-yard line. Chad Hodges, senior defensive end, makes the tackle on the loss, and it'll be 4th down now. With the huge loss, it'll be about 14 yards needed.
Yeah, Hodges on a big sack. That's 1, 2, 3, 6, 5. 5 sacks tonight for Stephenville Yellow Jackets.
If Brownwood could come back and win that game, trailing by 12 with probably 4 minutes to go before they scored, that is a great confidence booster for that program.
Yes, it is.
Especially a team that's predominantly been a running team for so long, to be able to quick strike at the end of a game. 4th and 14, Crowley will go for it. 3:19 and counting. Epler straight drop, throwing. Flags are down, throwing up. It's Granberry caught, makes a move at the 5. No, they will say he went to knee at the 6, but wait, let's see the flag. It's on the sideline farthest from us. The side judge in front of Stephenville threw the flag, and so did the judge on the near side. It is offsides against Stephenville. It's declined. It will be a 1st and goal to go situation for the Eagles at about the 7-yard line. 3:05 to go, and they'll start the clock here momentarily. 1st and goal to go. The penalty is declined. The clock will be rolled now. 3:05 and counting. 1st and goal for Crowley at the 7-yard line of Stephenville. Under 3 minutes. 48-10, Stephenville on top of Crowley. Epler under center, 2 backs behind him, and now the same defensive tackle fired offsides again early.
Offense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible he's hearing somebody else say hut?
Could be.
Not supposed to do that.
Has been known to happen.
It is illegal procedure, but he's not complaining. So that'll move the ball outside to about the 11-12 yard line. 2:52 to go here. Under 3 minutes to go in Everman. Everman still leading by 5. Brownwood did recover the onside kick. We'll wait and give you that score as we get it. Epler under center, split backs, throwing across the middle. Up and caught, close to the yardage needed for a touchdown. No signal yet. He will be stopped short of the yardage needed at the 1-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and goal to go from about the 1.
Forbes with the reception that time.
Detron Forbes coming across the middle, 2:36, and should be counting. Why is it not? Finally, they do start the clock. Ball is actually spotted at the 2-yard line. So it's 2nd and goal to go from the 2:25 and counting here in the Techstar Ford fourth quarter. Crowley trying to get one late score. Epler is under center, 2 backs behind him. Running the option to the near side. Epler gives the ball ahead, touchdown. Mike Evans making the score, the fullback for the Eagles. Crowley does get on the board again, now making it 48-16. The extra point upcoming at the 2:15 mark.
Well, a game fairly similar to last week's game.
Sure.
Stephenville scores
a late
early,
score.
And then a late score by Crowley.
2-yard run for Mike Evans. Crowley getting set for the extra point. Epler with the hold. Jarrett Warren getting set for the extra point. Snap back. It's over the head of Epler. Back at the 20. A big chase for it. Epler finally gets the ball and goes to a knee as he gets it at the 36-yard line. The 2-point conversion is no good. Stay tuned. We have an important update from the Everman-Brownwood game. With only minutes remaining in the ball game, Brownwood has fumbled the ball away to Everman. Everman with a chance now to just run out the clock.
2:41 to go in the game. Running the option, Deacon Burns puts the ball on the ground, and it looks like the Everman Bulldogs have the ball with 2:41. Still a lot of football to be played, though.
39-34. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Everman still on top of Brownwood. 2.5 to go. Everman with the football. God, how wild is that going to be next week going into Gordon Wood Stadium if Brownwood continues and loses that football game?
And I hate that.
Boy, howdy. Talk about their backs against the wall.
Yeah, I mean.
Because all of a sudden now you're tied with Everman in the district, and they beat you head-to-head.
Well, you remember.
With still Stephenville and Cleburne left to play.
Steve Ross and I went by and visited with Coach Briles before the season ever started. He said, man, watch those Everman Bulldogs. They're a good team.
High end over end. Pooch, fair catch is up, and I believe I should say it is an onside kick, one of the most unusual I've ever seen. And Stephenville was not ready for it as the ball went high into the air, and now flags come down as there's a bunch going on in the pilot for the football.
Yeah, that's a little frustrating.
And there's been an ejection as well.
Yeah, I think we had a little bit of a fight or a kick or a punch or something. Man, when you're fighting for the ball, let them fight for the ball, for crying out loud. By the way, the Eagles were offsides. I don't think they called it, though.
Yeah, they were definitely offsides.
Yeah, they got the ball back.
And let's see who the flag is against.
Well, it's got to be Stephenville if they've got the ball.
Well, I guess, unless it was dead ball.
Yeah, that's true.
After the play was over. Let's wait and see.
We do have an ejection.
It will be Crowley's football. The ejection is...
Steve Ross may be able to get that for us. They're not going to they're not going to mark off any yardage?
Why is there not a penalty? Let's wait and see.
There's got to be.
Flags came down.
Unless were 2 guys ejected?
So it is.
Let's see. Here we go. Here comes the call.
I think it is because he's giving a number to the Crowley coach. Personal foul against Stephenville, dead ball. It's only against Stephenville, and it is an ejection. Steve Ross, you're on the sideline. Can you tell us what's happened?
Yeah, I can tell you exactly what happened. There were some guys trading some punches like they were in Manila on the bottom of that pile. I know 2 Stephenville Yellow Jackets that were guilty. I don't know which one he threw out, or he may have tossed both of them.
Well, but they got their money's worth, didn't they?
Yeah, they were smiling when they came off the field.
All right. So Crowley gets the ball 15 yards added on to receiving or the onside kick. Epler fumbles the football, then picks it up and goes to the 29-yard line. 2:03 and counting, no gain on the play to be 2nd and 10. 48-16, Stephenville on top. Is it a final yet?
No, we were just... Brownwood coaches wanted to know who got ejected. Can they play next week? That's all we want to know.
Well, what is the rule on that?
You can't. You can play. Yeah, it's not the NCAA.
Oh, okay. 2nd down and 9 for Crowley. Crowley having some confusion. 1:36 and counting, trailing 48-16 to Stephenville. Epler looking to throw, throwing the deep ball on the far sideline. It's up for grabs, and it's almost picked off. A great another defensive play made by Scott to knock the ball away. He's had a great night at cornerback.
Well, in the words of Yogi Bear, it ain't over till it's over. From Everman, minute 17 to go in the game, they had to punt. So Brownwood has the ball back with a minute 17 to go and a chance to win it.
Let's
late.
just hope that it was a good punt and it backed Brownwood back.
They're on the 20-yard line. They got
80 yards to go with a minute what?
Minute 17. It didn't take Burns long to run 80 yards. I can promise you.
Well, I can remember Stephenville last year going about that distance with a lot less time than that with no timeouts.
I think you're right. 89 to be exact, I believe.
3rd and 9 for Crowley. Play action fake, throwing over the middle, over the head of the intended receiver, the tight end, the biggest tight end I've ever seen. 6'4", and he's going to go around 270, 280.
He's a load. He is a big man.
So it's 4th down and 9. Brownwood 80 yards away with just over a minute remaining. And you've got to think they used all their timeouts on that defensive stop to get the Everman punt.
Yeah, I think you're right. They almost had to. If they only used up, a little over about a minute and 30.
And with Brownwood being a predominantly running team, it's tough to go 80 yards without a first down in less than a minute and a half.
They've got a wide receiver they can throw to.
Epler under center, 4th down. They will go for it. 9 yards needed. Straight drop, Epler looking to throw. Throwing across the middle, has a receiver. It's caught and dropped. He had a first down, did Buddy Campbell, and he pumps his fist into the grass as he dropped the first down catch.
You know something I just thought of? This game and the Brownwood game is going to end just about the same time. There might be some well-wishers out there on the highway if Brownwood loses that game.
Deacon Burns was sacked on the play, and he has been knocked out of the game.
No.
He has been injured and knocked out of the game. That'll be interesting to see what happens next week.
We don't want that.
Everman intercepts Deacon Burns as he is knocked out of the ball game.
Game over.
And game is over. Everman has defeated Brownwood.
Wow.
Hey, we got a response that time. It is a final. Petronas now in the game as he takes over for the Jackets. Handoff straight ahead to Haney. Haney powers his way out to about the 32-yard line. And look at the celebration going on in the Stephenville stands right now. How about that?
Oh, and you hear the Brownwood coaches next door slam their fist down on the table.
And say a word.
No, I didn't hear that.
Oh, I did. I'm right next to it.
I know. Well, I'm with them. I'd like to have seen a big 1-4 matchup.
Well, see, they were 4th in the state coming in. This may knock them
Weren't
down.
They 5th or 6th last year when they lost to Sweetwater?
That's exactly
right.
Exact
same thing happened. Wow.
Petronas is under center, but this is a district loss, which is much heavier. Petronas will go to a knee as Mr. Haney drops back to protect Petronas. 25 seconds and counting, and folks, that will do it. Our final score here tonight, Stephenville 48, Crowley 16. Stephenville goes to 2-0.
By the way, we want to thank Michael Richardson, who